Big 12 today here on Big 12 Radio. You're listening to us exclusively on TuneIn. You're watching us via Big 12 Studios. We are here out in Kansas City at the T-Mobile Center, getting you locked and loaded for a full day of college basketball. We'll be talking Houston Cougars basketball here in about 15, followed by BYU and then Texas Tech, three of the front runners on the men's side. After that, we'll hit Arizona, Iowa State, Kansas, and we'll wrap with an interview with the commissioner, Brett Yormark, here in Kansas City.
Can I just say something real quick? So you just mentioned three teams that are, the quote-unquote front runners, but there's two teams in this conference that have won national championships the last decade, and neither of them, King, are those three, right?
Yeah.
Talking the Jayhawks and your Baylor Bears, two teams that have won titles. It's what a bizarre time in this conference that for a long time was run by Kansas and then Baylor.
Yeah, that's not the case anymore. I mean, when I was playing, Kansas used to, I hate to admit this, but Kansas was the team in which it's almost like the Cowboys. There we go. Let's throw my Cowboys out there. It's almost like the Cowboys, right? Now, it's different because Kansas expected to win, and 95% of the time they probably won. And the Cowboys aren't that same level of team, but nonetheless, when you play the Cowboys and when you knew they were coming, you just got up for that game. And that was the team that you just wanted to beat. Like, there was a target on their back every single time. And it's the same thing with Kansas. I mean, despite them not being the favorite, they still have that target on their back at all times because for so long they dominated this conference. But you were absolutely right, Ari. From a standpoint of this league is so wide open. And I saw something the other day. Somebody put out, it was like Houston is the juggernaut, and then you have contenders, and then you have good teams. I don't think there's that much of a gap between Houston and everybody else. I think there's about 5 or 6 teams that are all in the same ballpark that can all compete for the Big 12 championship this year. This year, I don't think we will see a team dominate like we have seen in the past. There will be no separation. There's about 5 or 6 teams who are all up there contending for first place.
That voice is King McClure, who joins us here at Big 12 Media Days, played at Baylor, an ESPN and NBC college basketball analyst, among many other things, including King and the Coach, which you can hear on TuneIn during the college basketball season. That dork over there is Ari Timken. I'm James Westling. King, how much has college basketball changed since you played, which was not that long ago? We're talking about guys that were playing in the G League and for overtime elite, and now they've got eligibility, and there's NIL and all this stuff, but I can't figure out who's in what classification in college basketball, who's eligible, who's not eligible.
We're talking to this kid from Arizona State who's never played college basketball before, played 2 years in Belgium professionally.
And he's 28.
And he's 19, but he's a sophomore. I'm like, how are you a sophomore when this is your first year playing college basketball?
None of this makes sense, you guys. None of this makes, and you know what? I'm just going to be honest. This is a very sore subject for me because I'm so salty. Because I could have been a millionaire. I could have been a millionaire right now.
Instead of sitting with you two jokers,
it's
trying to make money.
I'd love being,
you're right.
He's wearing a fishing shirt, for God's sake.
I love being with you guys, but I could have been a millionaire right now. We have guys, right? So if you look at my stats in college and compare it to some guys who I've heard some numbers, these guys are getting $1 million at minimum, anywhere between $750 to like 1.3 is the price range in which I would have gone for it. Man, listen, I'm salty.
Wait, that would have been your price range?
Yeah. I'm salty. I'd have came into school guaranteed at least 400 because I was a 4-star. I'm so salty right now. Listen, you guys have no idea how salty I am. This is a sore subject.
No,
because
I get it.
Had my parents just had me like 3 years later.
Yeah.
Like, why y'all ain't wait 3 years, right? I mean, they already had me kind of old, but y'all could have waited at least 3 more years. Switch times with me and my sister.
I feel like it's worse to be closer than like some of these OGs who were playing in the 90s or early 2000s.
Yeah, because it's like, y'all had no chance of getting this. I mean, y'all paved the way, but you had, like that man right there, Sean Farnham, right? Yep. Sean Farnham played so far back, right? He was playing with Baron Davis. He had no chance of getting NIL, right? So,
we got a fourth mic.
I've got like 10 minutes before I have to work somewhere. What are you guys saying? What do you say?
King is salty because of NIL. And
King's salty because he has done too many push-ups. I mean, geez, can you mix a leg day in someday?
Like, what are you doing?
Listen, I'm trying to be like. So you
I do
told me.
Orange Theory, man. Like, I get lean. You got like
listen,
you got,
but
like, stronger.
you told me
he's
last when we were up there on the right there on the
Yes.
set. You told me I need to start working out more, and I was
You
getting
do.
too big. So you know what I did? I put it
You
up
got
on
bigger.
myself. Yeah, no
Whey protein.
Yeah,
Lots.
whey protein, push up,
Core
I'm pushing
power.
weight.
Optimum nutrition.
This is ridiculous. What are you guys doing? What are we doing here?
This is Big 12 radio
I love the
on
hats, by
TuneIn.
the
We
way.
are
The
Big
hats are great. I
12
already spoke to
studios
him.
on television. But King he's big mad about NIL, and he took a
Right.
shot at you that you played so long ago that it's so far in
Hey,
the
listen,
rearview mirror.
I think I want to sue because I literally did television for 2 years at UCLA and never got paid. Like
You're like NIL. I didn't even get paid to do like working media.
They literally had me do a segment on the UCLA Sports Magazine show for 2 years. 2 years. I got $0 from that. I'm like, there's got let's just say $500 of an appearance. That's like still like $30,000. That's like 2/4 of my son's education in college. So insane. Okay, I gotta go to work, guys. I'm on ESPNU in like 10 minutes,
You're
so
the
I gotta
man.
go. But King, I love you.
Listen,
That's
love
my
you, bro.
little brother. I love this guy and his growth that he's had in his career and continues to have. He's a star.
Agreed.
And I'm just I love working with him. Every time I come here to the Big 12 tournament, we have a great time. Every time we talk throughout the course of the season, how we see the game, how he sees the game, it's always something I feel really, really strongly about. He's a great asset for the Big 12 overall, and I'm just proud that I get to call him a colleague. So you guys have a good rest of your day. I'm going to go to work on my other show.
Thanks, Sean.
You're so nice, Sean.
Sean Farnham, ESPN. That's a King's taking shots.
shot.
His reference for how old you were was that he played with Baron Davis.
But here's the thing. Man, I love me some Baron Davis.
He was so good.
He was so good.
He was so good.
what he wanted to be. I mean, he was like an
That's
F.
fair,
Like,
that's
if he
fair,
didn't want to
that's
play,
fair.
it's you know.
That's fair.
But King, think back to 18-year-old, 19-year-old King McClure. If you had that type of money, would you have evolved into the same type of player?
No, and he even said that.
No.
Would you have learned the life skills
I mean, that's what he
to
asked
be where you are
JT
today?
Toppin's got a Rolex on. He was the player of the year last year. You know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah.
a legit thing.
I'll say this: if I had that level of money, I don't think I would be here right now. I think my mentality would have been different.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think my career would be what it is right now. I don't know what I would be doing because my heart disease completely hindered me from being able to get a chance to go play and professionally in the NBA. So I don't know what I would have been doing because I think that the biggest thing that does is I think it puts a lot of greed in your heart and a lot of evilness. Not saying that these players are that, but for me, I think that's what it would have done. It would have turned me into a person that I don't think I would have wanted to be. So I thank God that I'm here and that it went the way it went. I mean, granted, yeah, I'm a little salty. Nonetheless, though, God always has a plan, and I'm here with you guys, and I'm here on television, and I would have never, ever imagined that I'd be here on television, man.
Well, man, you're an incredible story that I don't think you've shared with our audience over the last couple of days of everything you went through health-wise at Baylor and how your playing career kind of unexpectedly got cut a little bit short and how it turned you into a media superstar in a lot of ways.
Man, you know, you guys are
You
saying
are.
so-
I do a game with you. I'm getting texts. I'm like, King's so great. You're terrible.
You guys are so nice,
You're
man.
terrible, but King's awesome.
What's interesting is, man, I would have never expected to be doing this, man. Like, for real. And like, that's why I'm so humble and I'm so grateful for this opportunity because, like, for the longest, I thought my calling was to play basketball. Like, I thought that I was put here on this earth to play basketball, and I never ever thought that something like this would be possible. And to be able to, you know, get as far as I've gotten as quickly as I have, man, it's a blessing. I would never take that for granted. I would never switch up. I will always be the same guy because I'm genuinely blessed and honored to even be able to do things like this or to be on sets and to be able to talk to guys like John Rothstein that just come up to me and be like, "What's up, my man? How's everything going?" I would never imagine. So I'm extremely grateful and honored.
But also, we saw after what happened with you an emphasis on that, on getting your heart looked at for college basketball players. And Baylor went through it with Austin, and then Kansas State with Keontae Johnson.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you were kind of one of the first guys. So explain to our viewers and our listeners what happened.
Yeah, so I got diagnosed with, just to make the short story, long story very short, I got diagnosed with hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. I was 18 years old, and I had to get a heart surgery, an internal cardiac defibrillator placed into my body. I still have it just as a safety net. So if I ever were to collapse, if I collapse right now, I mean, Lord knows, Lord forbid, knock on wood, right? it would kick in and it would shock me back to life. They caught it just a routine checkup. It wasn't anything that actually happened to me. I've actually never had any symptoms or anything. It was just a routine checkup, and it was a blessing that I chose Baylor because I'm looking over here, one of the Kansas coaches, and I almost went to Kansas, and I was almost a Jayhawk already. And I don't think I would have found out about my heart disease had I went to Kansas because they didn't test for it. So I think that I'm glad that we were testing, and Jared Butler.
Yep.
Jared Butler has my same heart disease. There's so many guys in it. A lot of schools didn't test for it, and because they didn't, now people didn't know, and we've had so many stories. Just the amount of kids in high school who have dropped dead and collapsed, and their life has been taken as a result of not knowing, just being ignorant to this heart disease. So that's one of my big missions, which is why I think God gave me this platform to be able to help people, to be able to help kids, and to be able to give kids hope in a time of hope. I mean, the amount of DMs I've gotten when it comes to, hey, like I read your story and I'm inspired, you saved my life. I mean, that right there means more to me than anything, man. And I think that's ultimately why I was put on this earth, to be able to help and give people purpose and hope in the time, especially where there's so much negativity in this world.
Right.
I just want to be a positive light, man.
Awesome stuff, man. Thank you for sharing.
Of course.
You're the man.
I appreciate it. And you know what? I respect the hell out of you two guys, too. I rock with you. I mean, me and Ari, we did the morning show at Sirius XM for, 2 years?
Yeah, 2 years.
2 years. I woke up at 7 a.m., man.
You did it again today.
Yeah, I did.
You were here on time. We had a side bet
what I was
going.
gonna
Woke up
say.
before that, you'd be on air at 7 a.m.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say there's not too many guys that can get me up out of the bed at 7 a.m. to come do this, except for you two guys. You two are two of the few. Because James, I remember, I'll never forget, I did James's first game on ESPN, Baylor, West Virginia. And James was panicking. James was freaking out.
It was over. It was over before it began.
Yes, because it was on a Remy, right? And a Remy means the producer is not actually on site. The producer is in Connecticut, which means there's like a 2-second delay. And James was like, huh?
Like, how am I going to do that?
Ari, this 10 minutes before the game, man.
That's not going to work.
Yeah, this 10 minutes before the game, Ari. So I'm looking at James
Nothing about
like,
me this surprises me.
yeah, I'm looking at James
Nobody
like, bro,
told me anything.
Yeah, I'm like, James, bro, relax. You're good. We got this. We're about to go kill it. Don't worry about it. I'm the only one that needs to worry about it, right?
Because you're the one that's reacting.
Because I'm the one doing the replays and stuff. So James, I visibly see the panic on his face. I'm like, listen, if you panic, then I'm going to panic. And one of us got to be calm,
That's
right?
teamwork.
So that's why I said, like, ever since then, me and James been super tight, super cool. Ever since then, me and you been super tight. So I respect the hell out of both of you guys.
We're good.
Man.
It's always
All
fun
good.
to work with you, King, and I want to echo what Sean Farnham said. You're a great asset to the Big 12. The growth you've shown in your broadcasting career is incredible, and I mean it is a lot of fun to watch you and watch games you call. You learn a lot. I think you explain very complex things very easily, which is a gift. So.
I appreciate you
We've
guys.
got to pay off some of that company debt that Ari racked up at the steakhouse the other night. So we'll take a break. And coming up next, Houston Cougars basketball. We're talking about the defending Big 12 champs and the national runner-ups coming up next year on Big 12 Today. You're listening to us exclusively on Big 12 Radio. He's King McClure, Ari Timken, James Westling, watching us on Big 12 Studios.
Big 12 Radio, talking University of Houston basketball, the two-time defending Big 12 champion with King McClure and James Westling. I'm Ari Temkin. Kelvin Sampson is our guest. How are you, Coach?
I'm good, guys. Good to be with you this afternoon.
Yeah, it's great to see you. Great to be with you. It's great talking hoops with you. But you've got a dog in your lap right now, and we were just talking with a couple of your players about Lady and Roxy, the two dogs you have around the program.
Yeah, well, actually, it's a puppy.
Puppy.
Yeah, puppy. You got to get the dog lingo down there. Dogs are old. Puppies are puppies. If you notice, puppies' noses are always cold. That's why she's got her nose in the crook of my arm.
You are
See
the
that?
puppy whisperer.
Yeah, you got to know the little puppies. Now, you gotta be careful about puppies. Sometimes they can grow up to be something else. But if you love them, if you really love them, they'll love you back, and they'll be the most loyal companions you've ever had. I remember you lose a game, and everybody's losing their friggin' mind. My little dog Fajita, I could always count on her. She was always there.
You know, this is so fascinating because you're a really tough and really passionate coach.
Yeah, I look like it.
And now, I mean, you're sitting next to me, and you know, you
There's
have
a soft side.
this cute little dog in your lap, and I love the versatility.
Yeah.
But where
I like
does
that
this
word.
come from?
You know, when I was 5, my mother's parents lived on a farm, and back then we didn't have fancy names for them. I don't even know if they had this. This was a Labradoodle. I doubt they had Labradoodles in the 50s and 60s. But they had, and if you had a beagle, it had to be a certain kind of beagle. So I had a rabbit dog. But you know what I named my rabbit dog?
What?
Cannonball. Come on now.
Why?
Come on.
Please elaborate, Coach.
I got Cannonball when I was 5 years old. And by the time he passed away, he was on a salt-free diet, distilled water. He was blind, and he passed away when I was 21. So I had him for 16 years.
Wow.
Oh man.
And then the year I was recruiting Eduardo Najarad, Oklahoma,
Yeah.
I got this Mexican Chihuahua. It's got to be a sign. Come on, Eduardo.
And you named him Fajita?
Named it Fajita. But how about this? I had Fajita for 20 years.
Wow.
I know how
You know how to
to
take
take
care of
care
a dog.
of the dog.
You preserve their lives for
Yeah.
real, Coach. You get every ounce of that dog.
My dog Roxy sleeps with me at night, and she loves to bow up. You know, she'll find which way. If you're sleeping with your back to her, she'll bow up on your back. But if you sleep with her stomach to her, she'll bow up on your knee. So
She's a
dogs are
relentless
smart.
rebounder.
Yeah, I mean, they just need that touch. They need contact. That's dogs. You need to be good to dogs, and I don't like people that get dogs that don't. We had a guy that, for an NBA team, that went on a 6-day road trip, left his 2. I'm not going to say the name because I might give him out. Left his 2 dogs outside in 18-degree temperature.
Oh wow.
That guy should have never been allowed to buy a dog.
No.
So, but let's get back to. This is Philippe, right? Philippe's perfect. I might have put Philippe in my backpack.
You develop dogs, puppies. You develop players too.
Yeah.
At Houston, you've got a squad this year. So much veteran leadership. How's that veteran mix of freshmen on this team as well? Where's the chemistry at in the off season?
I think you work on it. It's not an end result. Last year we started off 4-3. I don't remember the 4 wins, but we had a 5-point lead against Auburn on November 9th and got beat. Then we went to Vegas and played Alabama. Now both those teams were really good, but we had a 6-point lead on Alabama at under 4 timeout, and had a chance to win it at the buzzer, and lost. So we lost overtime. The next game, we played San Diego State. A bunch of stuff didn't go right. We didn't play very well, but give them credit. They outplayed us. Lost that one too. So we came back 4-3. There was no chemistry. And we had 4 starters back. Don't ever think that chemistry has anything to do with anything other than shared adversity. It took 3 losses to get our chemistry. Because sometimes the more you win early, you're just delaying the inevitable, which is you guys come get Philippe. Philippe tripping.
I come get this dog.
Yeah, I mean, I just, Philippe, I think my voice, she's trying to sleep, and I'm here talking in her ear. We'll give her a blanket. But I think teams that have the best chemistry have weathered some storms, and weathered some adversity, which you're going to have. It's always been amazing to me how people react to losses in November. Unbelievable. Truly, it's unbelievable. You've got 6 months left, and they're focusing on. And think about these scrimmages.
Yeah. Right. It's ridiculous.
We had a scrimmage Saturday. Chris Beard's one of my best friends. We scrimmage each other every year for 11 years. I played 13 guys the first half. 13. We let 13 guys. You know why I've let 13 guys play? That is the only game we're going to have all year where they can play as much as I want them to play. And those kids have busted their butts from June, July, August. And you're telling me we got to go to a scrimmage and worry about how good we play as a team? I don't care about that. Now, when you're a young coach, you worry about stuff that just ain't that important. But as an older coach, the minutes those guys got the first half is going to keep them locked into practice probably for another week. And then we played Mississippi State in a exhibition game on Sunday. It's an exhibition game. I may let them play again. Am I supposed to try to win and win by a certain score? Is that what it's come down to now? We're sitting here evaluating something that we have no idea about because we didn't go to the game, but we saw the score. It's amazing where our game has evolved.
Oh, you're 100% correct. So let's talk basketball strategy from a standpoint of last year when you have a guy like LJ Cryer who could go get you a bucket at any moment. Then there was other times where Javon Roberts, you throw it to him in the mid post. He really evolved his game to be a consistent scorer, and not just a scorer, but he was a threat. So a lot of teams sent doubles at him. When you lose 2 players like that, and now you have to make up those holes, how do you, as a coach, or who on your team can fill those holes and fill those voids in which you lost with LJ and Javon?
Well, the easy answer is I've got a lot of experience. Remember the year before we went to the Big 12, when the narrative was, how are you guys going to make the adjustment to Big 12? How are you going to do this in Big 12? Big 12, Big 12, Big 12. What nobody ever asked me was, how are you going to replace the number 8 pick in the draft in Jarris Walker and the number 25 pick in the draft in Marcus Sasser? Nobody ever asked me that question. They just want to know how you're going to do in the Big 12. Well, we're going to put 5 guys out there now. The rules require it. We're going to have 5 guys, and then we're going to have a bench. So Jarris goes to the NBA, Marks goes to the NBA, and before that, it's like, how in the world are you going to replace Quentin Grimes? How in the world are you going to replace Quentin Grimes and Fabian White, and Josh Carlton, and Kyler Edwards? So when I say I've got a lot of experience at it, I do. I have to replace somebody every year. So for this team, I don't ever replace players. No, here's the way I look at it. I look at our team as a whole and say, how can we function at the best in the best possible way with what we have. Since practice started, now in June, I thought a lot about J1 because I had him 6 years, and I thought about LJ's journey. But since we started practice in September, I haven't thought about those guys at all. Have I missed them? Not from a basketball standpoint. I got another team. And so next summer, I'm going to be losing somebody else. And if I'm back the following year, somebody else. So every year you lose somebody good. Look at Bill. Every year you're going to lose somebody. But it's the program is what's important. I've got Milos Uzan back, and I told Milos, if you can get a guaranteed contract, you should not come back to college. And then you'd be asking me how you're going to replace Milos. But we'd have a point guard. We're going to have a point guard, regardless of who it is. We lost Jamal Shed. How are you going to replace Jamal? Well, we got Milos. How are you going to replace Milo? I get asked the same stuff every year. We're going to have a good team. But we have Milos, we have Emmanuel, and we have JoJo. But we also have Ramon Walker and Mercy Miller and Chase McCarty and Ced Lott and Cordell Jefferson. How many teams in America has their entire bench back and didn't transfer? We've had 4 kids transfer in 11 years. How do you do that? It's not because of money. They make more money going to another school, but they choose to come back. That is our secret sauce, is our kids believe in this coaching staff, they believe in this basketball program, and they believe in each other. So when Jamal leaves, or Quentin leaves, or Marcus leaves, or Jairus leaves, or J1 leaves, or LJ leaves, we do that every year. The program is what stays. Players come and go. I've never had a team with 5 starters back. I've had 4 starters back, but I've also had teams where I've lost 4 starters. But we've built a great program. We've got 3 freshmen that they definitely have more weaknesses right now than talents or strengths, but that's what freshmen are. I mean, I watched them practice every day. They're not Kobe. I've yet to see a LeBron out there. They're 18 years old and made their reputations a lot on 60-year-old dudes that's got an acne problem that weighed 157 pounds. So I don't get overly excited about where somebody's rated or what somebody else said. I draw my own conclusions and I have my own judgments.
Last thing for me, clock strikes 0, buzzer sounds in San Antonio. What's the first thought in your mind?
How the hell we don't get a shot off? That's my first thought.
What was your second thought? Because I had the same first thought too.
Well, my second thought was I wish we'd got a shot off. That's my second thought.
Good luck this year, Coach. Hopefully you don't have a first or a second thought after the buzzer sounds the foul game this year.
Well, you got to be really lucky. You know, everybody asked me about the Florida game. You have any idea how lucky we were to beat Duke?
Yeah.
You held them to 1 field goal the final 10 minutes of that game.
Think about that.
It was insane.
Yeah, we're playing Purdue in front of 21,000 Purdue fans. The score's tied with 2.7 seconds to go. We've got the ball inbounds in the baseline. Could have lost that game.
Yeah.
We're up 14 on Gonzaga, and it comes down to a 3-point game. Everybody focuses on one
Florida.
thing. Yeah. I mean, you got to be. Florida was down 8 to Texas Tech with 3-something to go.
Yeah.
You got to be lucky. It's not about being good enough. Is not good enough. You got to be lucky and good. And we were both. And we were good enough to win it all this year, but we didn't get a break at the end. And sometimes you give credit to the other team. So credit to Florida.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Kelvin Sampson, appreciate your time as always, brother. It's always great catching up with the great Kelvin Sampson here at Big 12 Basketball Media Days. Big 12 Media Days here at Kansas City T-Mobile Center, and we're talking with Kevin Young, the head basketball coach for BYU. Is this year 2 for you?
Year 2.
What'd you learn after year 1? What do you take away from year 1 that you now take into year 2?
Yeah, I mean, I think just learning the league, right? Learning the physicality, the nature of the officiating, just getting a sense for just how the league operates. I think the physicality probably is I heard about it before, but just kind of experiencing, we tried to go out, and that impacted some of the recruiting strategies and so forth, but that was probably the big takeaway.
You feel like some of your players felt the same way, like in terms of getting adjusted to the league? Because we saw your team get so much better as the year progressed.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously every year is different. Every team is different. The team we had last year, I mean, people, I think, tried to push us around, try to punk us. I thought our guys took a little bit to respond to that, and then once we did, the players really figured out. We tried to do a couple coaching things to kind of help them navigate it. But yeah, that was a big part of our sort of figuring the league out.
Surprised Richie's back?
I don't know if I'd say surprised. I mean, I'm happy, obviously, but he had some opportunities. He had a decision to make about going to the NBA versus coming back. I think in the state of college athletics right now, I mean, it made sense for him to come back, and we're excited he is, and excited to help, continue to help him develop so that when he does go to the NBA, he gets himself in a good position.
I'm sure you still have friends in the league. What was the feedback you got from them about him and what he needs to improve upon to get to the league?
Well, I'll go the other way before I answer that. I think that everyone in the NBA they all think the same thing about Rich. Like they're going to sneak him into the back door. I'm like, all you guys are saying the same thing. So
right, so somebody's going to take him.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, all you guys are saying the same thing. So
nobody's sneaking.
Yeah, so I think I think he'll just kind of climb the charts. I really do, in terms of draft boards and so forth. But in terms of improvement, I think for him it's less about improvement and more about proving.
Yeah.
In terms of like what I did last year is who I am. Now I think he's gotten better in terms of being a little bit more of a playmaker when he does put the ball on the ground. I think he's done a better job of making reads on second and third levels of defense and stuff like that. But I think in talking to people in the league, it's like, can he again, like I said, prove that that's really who he is as a shooter.
Talk about some of your core principles and things you brought to the college game from the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, I think, offensively, I'll start there. I think spacing is the number one thing that we're about. We try to space the floor and give guys opportunities to make plays, and we try not to clog the lane. And a byproduct of that is, we take a lot of threes and we get to the rim a lot. And so we tried to recruit to that the best we could. This year, obviously, Rob and AJ both, I think, can live at the rim, especially with the spacing that is provided for them. We try to play fast. We try to get into our action extremely fast into the shot clock. I think those two areas are where we were able to have success last year offensively. Defensively, last year was a challenge for us. I think we'll be much better served this year defensively. I think we have a lot better one-on-one defenders. We're more athletic. We're a little bit longer. I think we're a little bit tougher. So you would hope that kind of impacts what we do on that end of the floor.
Obviously you had certain expectations of AJ coming in, and you knew him a bit in recruiting him and the type of player and person he is. Anything that surprised you about him now that he's on campus with the team?
In a good way, it's and this is what I think separates him and makes him great is obviously you see the talent, you see the athleticism, you see the size, but his approach and his maturity are the things that I've really been impressed with. If I was an NBA team, I would be salivating over that, right? Like when you make the commitment that a team's going to have to make to a top pick like that, because I've been on the other end where it didn't go well. Like you want to feel great about the worker, the mentality, the it factor. He has that, and that's what I've been most impressed with.
Yeah, when you say it didn't go well, what went into that? Like I'm not saying that's not going to be AJ obviously, but what are the things that teams maybe overlook sometimes when they're evaluating college players?
Well, it's hard. I mean, the draft is really hard. You try your best to get intel. You try your best to get a real good feel for who somebody is as a person. Are they going to work? Are they coachable? Are they, do they, it's hard to describe it, but just do they have the it factor? You know what I mean? And I've been, I've coached. I think we looked at the other day. I don't know, like 5 or 6 guys who've been like top 3 picks, right? So that's a lot. And so I've been around ones that have made it all the way to MVP level. I've made it coach guys who are not in the league anymore, and so that's usually the different differentiator. Is kind of that it factor. It's hard to pinpoint that.
That's a great point. I mean, is it like, can you tell? How do you tell? I mean, it's like a job interview you're doing, and it's tough to really get a sense of that because they're trying to say all the right things. Like, and I'm sure being a college coach is giving you a different perspective on this.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the NBA world, how can you tell? I mean, you know, I think you got to rely a lot on the people who are giving you the information, right? I think in this case, like, you know, we'll see who starts asking the most questions about him. But, you know, if it's someone that I have a deep relationship with, I mean, I'll put my name on the line for that guy because I think he does have it. But again, that's what makes the draft difficult, and that's why not every, you know, lottery pick ends up making it, you know.
What position does he play, AJ DeBonsa? Is he a wing player? I mean, and you guys kind of play some positionless basketball at BYU. So, like, what's his game like?
Yeah, I mean, we talk really about just he's a wing. Like, you know, in our style of play, kind of 1, 2, 3, and 4 all can essentially do the same things. Our 5, we have pretty specific like roles for. But I mean, he can score it, you know, really all over the floor. You know, he can do it off the catch, he can do it off the dribble, he can post up. I mean, I've been really impressed with his ability to make decisions. Like, that was something him and I talked about prior to him coming was, you know, you look at Yegor Demon, who we had last year, who was the 8th pick in last year's draft, and how we used him. He was our point guard, and I know that was something that really interested AJ as far as being able to be, you know, big and make reads as a pick-and-roll player. That's something that's been really fun to watch, and I think you talk about the next level. I mean, that's something that those groups will be really excited to see.
Do you just take the film from the Bama game and just throw it away?
More or less. I mean, I have a lot of respect for Coach Nate Oates. I don't know a ton of college coaches prior to doing this. He was a guy I did know. He runs good stuff. They do a good job, and so I don't want to discredit anything that he does. But I mean, they shot the lights out, obviously, and but at the same time, our guys, we didn't answer the call. We didn't play well, and it was like a double whammy because they felt like they made every shot, and it was
you
a
guys
historic
couldn't hit one.
night.
Yeah, felt like you guys couldn't. But that's one thing where it's like sometimes I'm sure the film helps you learn, you grow from it. But then I'm sure there's other times where it's like sometimes it's a make or miss thing. You know, I remember Pop used to always say that all the time, Greg Popovich. Sometimes it's a make or miss league. Like, it's just that simple.
Yeah, I'd say most times it's a make or miss league, and you know that's why shooting is so critical. I think to success, especially in today's game.
We shot a video with Lethal Shooter. He's a big deal. Yesterday we were sinking free throws. Only took us 67 takes to make 3 in a row. But what are some of your shooting principles? Because, I mean, you've developed guys in the NBA. We saw your team last year and some really elite shooters get better and better.
Yeah, I mean, I have I think, interesting take on trying to help guys become better shooters. And I know this sounds counterintuitive, but I don't actually mess with guys' shots that much. I'm more interested in the shots that they're taking. So I like, you know, I just told someone this the other day, like, you're going to shoot a better percentage because of the shots that you don't take more than you are going to be like elbow under the ball, in my opinion. Right now, of course,
totally.
You know, you got to get your technique right and so forth. So we talk a lot about decisions at BYU. Are you making the right decision? When I drive to the rim, when I get to the paint, am I making the right decision? And so that's going to help that player's field goal percentage if they're not taking bad ones, and they're going to help your teammates while you're giving them a great one, right? And so that's essentially how we try to play. And you know, as I'm looking at Rob right over there, I mean, he's a guy who's bought into that tremendously. You know, that was something we talked to him about when we were recruiting him. You got to be a guy that shoots, you know, almost 50, 40, 90, especially if you want to go play in the NBA. You can't come in here, you know, shooting 39% from the field because you're taking, you know, questionable shots and so forth. So he's bought into that, and that's the biggest challenge, I think, for the team. My teams that I always coach is just getting guys to understand that concept.
Not necessarily change how they shoot, but change the shots and their shot selection and their thoughts and the shot diet, basically. It's incredible. Zone defense. I'm asking every coach their perspective, thoughts on the zone. What are your thoughts on zone defense?
I like it as a changeup. I mean, our league's not a big zone league, or at
No.
least it wasn't last year.
It's not.
But it's funny, man. When I was in the NBA, I felt like every offseason, every coach was like, "I'm gonna study zone and we're gonna play zone." And then if you're not a zone coach, you go play zone, you score one time, and get out of the zone. And so I mean, I'm guilty as well with that. But I mean, we have one. We used it. I think I'd have to look at the numbers, but I think we zoned probably more than most teams did. And again, we didn't do it a ton. But you just don't see it a lot in our league. But I like it as a changeup. I think you need it. You need a way to kind of give a team a different look.
Yeah. Kevin Young, always fun to catch up with you, man. I think you're the most underrated coach in this league, and a league of great coaches. So great to have you in this league. Great to have BYU in this league, and appreciate your time today.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you having me on.
It's Kevin Young, BYU head basketball coach, joining us here from Big 12 Media Days in Kansas City. Big 12 Radio. It's Big 12 Today on TuneIn and Big 12 Studios. We're visiting right now with BYU Hoopers, Richie Saunders, Rob Wright, along with James Wesley. I'm Ari Tepke. What's up, guys?
What's good?
How are you guys?
We are good. We're happy here. We're good.
All right, Richie, let's start with you. Why are you here?
That's a great question. I've been asked that question. That's pretty pointedly, but that question essentially a lot lately.
Just in different ways?
Yeah, 100%.
I'll ask you the same question too, Rob, but we'll get to it.
Like, honestly, I'm here because I believe in KY, and I want him to help me get to the next level, and I want to win while we're here.
Was it more of like, okay, you did this 1 year, but teams wanted you to prove that you could do it 2 years?
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot more than that. You know, the opportunity was there, and it was hard passing up an opportunity, no doubt about it. But essentially, like, I felt like I wasn't ready to say this is who I am as a basketball player. I wanted to prove and show, and not just externally, but internally show that I can be an incredible defender and do more than just shoot.
Rob, how about you? You have any enemies here? You have any people that you don't want to see right now?
Nah, I have no
just
enemies.
kidding.
Rob's a lover, not a fighter.
Yeah,
For sure.
I really love her.
But why BYU?
Just like the fit. For me, it was pretty easy. When I got in the portal and I heard about BYU possibly being a thing, I was all for it. Playing with a guy like Richie and then playing like with AJ, I just thought that I could help them guys play their best basketball and just be the playmaker that KY needs.
Rob, your coach was telling us about, the percentages that he expects you to shoot this season and shot selection.
50, 40, 90.
We asked him about, what makes BYU such a good shooting team, and he talked about shot selection. So where are you at in that process, and what does that mean exactly? I mean, what qualifies as a good shot versus an average shot?
Really just going over the film. We watch tons of film here at BYU, so just us knowing what spots each other going to be in, and when we practice, we are rehearsing the exact shots we're going to get in the game. So it really helps you with your percentages.
Richie, what's your favorite spot on the floor?
I love a corner three transition.
Transition, corner, three, Richie Saunders buckets.
Yeah, right there. Yep.
Got it. I got it. What's the next step for your game this year?
Yeah, I mean, just like I said, is proving that I'm a good ball screen defender and that I can handle the rock.
Rob, what's your take on tater tots? You like tater tots?
Yeah, I'm not.
Better say yes.
I'm actually the big tater tot guy.
That's the reason why he chose BYU. Now it makes sense.
I mean, Richie, when did that it felt like it became such a big deal last year.
Yeah, it took off, and it was late in the season too,
it
right?
Was, yeah. No, it was literally conference tournament, March Madness.
Did you always know that?
Well, I did, but honestly, the extent is elementary school, 2 truths and a lie. I would say great grandpa by the tater tots. But literally, other than that, it was nothing until last spring.
That's amazing.
Ari, the real star is here.
Me. Oh,
right.
Yeah, of course.
He's here too. But,
we're sitting with 3 future NBA players right now.
So we're going to share a mic. I'm going to give AJ the mic, and we're going to talk to all 3 of these guys.
Hi, how you doing?
What's up, AJ? How are you?
I'm good.
Why BYU?
Kevin Young. That's simple.
I mean, did Kevin Durant call you? Chris Paul? That helped. That has to help, right?
I mean, yeah, KD texted me. CP kind of said the same thing, but I had to see it for myself.
And what is it that they told you that you're not seeing for yourself?
Oh, no, I'm seeing everything they told me.
Which is what?
It was like, well, for me, since I'm not in the NBA yet, it was like, that's my ultimate goal. So I wanted to get that knowledge early. And then he hired like Akash, who's our analytics guy, Danielle, who's our dietitian. So it's kind of like just getting an NBA feel in college and learning all that early. They were just telling me that he's just one of the better coaches that they've been coached by.
What has this year been like for you? Like, you are very well-known, famous for a guy that's never played at this level yet. What has it been like for you?
I mean, it's been fun. I'm just taking it day by day. I mean, it's been fun, like just, getting all like the fame and like all the kids coming up to you and everything. It's surreal. I mean, because you grow up as a kid like, oh, I want to be in that spotlight, and now you have it. So it's just a blessing.
So you played with a guy named VJ Edgecombe last year. Similarities? You see some similarities here? Differences?
I see the only similarity I see is they both hard workers and they both love the game.
And they both have initials for their first name?
Yeah, that's it. But as far as on the court, I mean, they're both super talented in their own ways. I mean, VJ's a crazy athlete. I mean, this guy's a good athlete, but I don't think he uses it like VJ does.
All right.
I guess that's a challenge.
All right, so, but what does he do that's better than VJ? I thought you were going to give me a bunch of
basketball.
Yeah.
He can score with the best of them. I mean, he just has a great feel for the game offensively. VJ just play on both sides so like hard, and just he's just really dedicated to the other side of the ball. But he's working on it. He's gonna get there. So
Yes, sir.
Anything else, James?
I don't have a mic. I got you.
What do you got, James?
Thanks, AJ.
We got tater tots.
We got tater tights. Did you guys get new uniforms? Did you guys wear these last year?
Yes.
These
These are the coolest blue they wear. This is like the old school blue.
Yeah, but you guys have the black ones too.
We do have the black. Yeah, we do have a couple road jerseys. Thank goodness.
What's your favorite set?
This one's nice.
I
this
agree.
one's nice.
this is my favorite.
Yeah,
This is my favorite.
This one's your favorite?
Yeah.
The navy. What about you, AJ?
Yeah, the Navy. I don't know why they didn't wear it too much last year.
Who's a bigger freshman on campus right now, Bear Bachmeyer or AJ DeBanza?
Bear.
But it won't be for long, right?
Nah, Bear.
After that touchdown.
Were you guys at the game? Were you guys there?
Yeah.
I mean, that was like I have no connection to BYU. I went to Kansas. Like, that gave me goosebumps. I mean, just the crowd, the environment. It had to be electric to be there. What was that like?
Yeah, it was super electric. Me and AJ were in the student section watching the whole game. It was crazy.
I mean, it reminded me of a game you guys both played in last year on different sides. It reminded me of the BYU Baylor game where there's tons of NBA scouts. It was as good of an environment as we've seen in the Big 12.
Yeah, it was super crazy. I think when we played them last year, Conor McGregor was there, which was random.
Yeah.
That was super
yeah.
random. Yeah,
That was so random.
it was like all these NBA scouts, like half the league was there, and then Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor in his BYU hat. Love that.
Did you guys know he was coming?
No, not at all. Just looked over and was like,
Wait a minute.
I don't think he's LDS, is he?
You never know.
You never know.
You never know.
Hey, AJ, what do you like about being a student at BYU and the community? And I know that you spoke about the vision that Coach has for you and in your future, but I mean, here in the present, what do you like about being at BYU?
I mean, that's like I'm getting the full college experience. I'm in in-person classes. Like I have a mission prep class. I'm a university class. And then I'm just trying to get the whole college experience. Like I'm in the Rock all the time. I'm in the student section for basketball games. I'll try to go to a couple girls' basketball games. We went to a soccer game the other day.
Nice.
I was in the Rock there, so I'm just trying to get the full experience.
Are you going to be the number one pick in the draft?
I mean, if I was a GM, I'll draft myself. But that's their decision.
There's another guy in this building that could be there too.
I promise we won't tweet this. Favorite NBA team?
Celtics.
I'm with OKC, Alex Caruso.
Yeah, I'm OKC too.
See?
Why are you going to OKC? You're not even from.
He's from there, yeah.
Where are you from, Rob?
From Wilmington, Delaware.
Guys like the same, I hear.
So you should be a Celtics fan. That's why AJ's saying that.
I
76ers.
probably should be a Sixers fan. I'm actually a Sixers fan for VJ.
Good call.
Good
Yeah, but the Sixers have not had much to root for lately, so I get it. All right, guys, I have a good feeling that all three of you guys are gonna be first-round picks this upcoming year. So go prove me right. Go play. Cannot wait to watch your team. AJ DeBanza, Richie Saunders, and Rob Wright. Appreciate you guys. Be well.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Let's talk Texas Tech hoops with Grant McCaslin, the head basketball coach for Texas Tech. Deep run last year, another elite team this year. What I'm interested, though, to talk to you about first is what happens during a game on your sideline. Because, I mean, it's incredible to watch. It is, to me, a testament to modern basketball and how the game has changed from a coaching perspective. But I try to describe it to people all the time, and just watching your games, and like I'm just telling people, like, go to a Texas Tech game and just watch Grant McCaslin watch his bench, because you've got an offensive coordinator, you've got, I mean, it's more like a football sideline, and I think that's where college basketball is going.
I don't know. Is that a complimentary question, King, or what?
Very much so.
It's
yes.
funny because we actually had somebody come and hang out with us and evaluating our program, and we went into halftime. You ought to see the sideline. You ought to see halftime. What we doing there? and I asked him after he was with our team for like 3 days, like, what'd you think about that? And he said that was the craziest blanket halftime I've ever seen in my life. So to me. You know, what makes all that work is there's a deep trust and understanding everybody, and everybody's gone through the trenches of knowing we're all on the same page, but allowing coaches like, you know, King, for example, as a player and doing what he does now, it's like, you got to let them have a voice, I think, that's genuine to them. And if you do that, then I think people get an authentic appreciation for how to improve in different ways. And when it's one voice all the time, I do think it makes it difficult for your team to maybe grow to the level that they can. And that's what I would tell you on our staff, because you can look at all these benches, and there's definitely more people on the bench in dress clothes than in basketball uniforms these days. So why have them if you don't involve them? That's honestly my heart behind it. And I trust the guys that do it. And so our timeouts, there's a lot of people coaching, but it's all on the same page. We spend a crazy amount of time together. All our staff works out together every day. It's really cool. And so there's just a unity in regard to what's being spoken and communicated. And it's the same way in our practices. We actually did one of those coaching videos, and they called me after it was over and said we can't use it because there's too many people talking. so much for that. But like, no, that is a unique part of it, and I'm thankful for our staff because it is a team. It always will be.
You know, that's interesting because I remember when I was playing at Baylor and you were there, it was almost like all of you guys had voices. And I remember vividly, like, certain phrases that you would say, that Mills would say, that Tang repeatedly would scream. I mean, yours was, hey, you just got to figure it out, King. You just got to figure it out. And I'm like, okay, Coach. I mean, I get what you're saying. And like now and I told you I coach and stuff, I just say that all the time. I'm like,
you got to figure it out.
You just got to figure it out. Like, there's no other way to figure it out. But is that something that, you know, you took from Scott Drew to allow your coaches to be able to have their own voices?
Yeah, that was a big part of the journey, and I left that situation honestly, and I would tell people that would come hang out with us at Baylor, because at that time our program wasn't held in the highest of regards all the time. You know, people would say negative things about whatever, because honestly, Coach Tang and Coach Mills had both coached in high school before that. And I got in there and I told anybody. I mean, I was really close with Matt Painter at the time. He called me and was asking about something. I was like, I'm telling you, Jerome Tang and Paul Mills are going to be head coaches. Those dudes are so good, and that's what people don't get, was just the ability to communicate that shows you, King, what a horrible coach I was at teaching. If I said just figure it out. But honestly, that was a way that I had understood as a junior college coach to say, like, there is a better version of our team when the team is coaching itself in that way. Yes. You know what I mean? Like, when the ownership on the team is more like, this is what we need to do, not let's do what coach is asking us to do all the time. And that was part of what was great about being at Baylor, and I'm thankful for Coach Drew, obviously, because I wouldn't have the understanding of how to help run a Big 12 program if it wasn't for him.
In Elite Eight run last year, you lose to the eventual national champions. So you've got to take some solace in that, right? I mean, you know.
No.
But, but I mean, you know, what an incredible game. Came down to the finish. You know, things might have been differently if you guys were fully healthy. That's sort of the name of the game. how do you approach this season? Do you go back and watch the tape from the end of the last game? Do you evaluate that, or is it just move on to the next one?
Oh no, we jumped. I watched the film on the way home that night, and just stared it in the face. And I'll watch possessions of that game just about every day, every couple days. Honestly,
Wow.
I mean, I just taking bits of it to try to figure out what the edge that we need to continue to grow in to separate ourselves in those moments. And, this basketball is basketball, and those games are like micro seasons in themselves. Like crazy things happen. But I will tell you as a coach, just the best thing that we can do is admit our mistakes regularly with people around us and with our teams, because we don't have anything figured out, and everybody wants to assume that. But you want to talk about one thing I've learned is that I've got to get better. And honestly, if that can be the heart of myself, of our staff, then I think our players take that. And there's a lot of things, honestly, I would do differently, but it doesn't have to do with the things that people think, And a lot of those are deep convictions in regard to how you prepare months in advance for a game like that. It doesn't even have to do with the plays.
In games,
themselves. Yeah.
Coach, we talked a little bit with JT about this, but, this year he's picked preseason Big 12 Player of the Year. Last year he was Big 12 preseason Player of the Year. How do you coach, from a coach's perspective, how do you coach a guy like that has so many expectations and delivered at such a high level last year and is almost under this pressure and the scrutiny to do the same thing again? And if he doesn't do it, then it's almost deemed as a failure. How do you as a coach go about coaching him day in, day out?
Well, I think the most important factor, and you said it, is you have to keep – honestly, it's the attack that we have every day, and it's specific to the team. It has nothing to do with JT. That's what I would tell you. It's how do we put this together and take the pressure off of him being something spectacular for the purpose of being Big 12 Player of the Year. Because that only happened, and actually he had the worst start in Big 12 play probably of any player I've had. I mean, he didn't play very well at Utah, and then he didn't play very well at BYU, and we played UCF at home, and it was his first game back, and he wasn't great, and we lost that. I mean, it was just like the first 3 games in the Big 12, you go look at the numbers, he was just below average, and it was just really how you finish, how you grow, and how you get better. So our whole focus will just be getting better, man. It won't have one thing to do with the expectation of what people have for at the beginning. It won't, man. It'll be like, where are we going to be when this thing ends, and to challenge our team to be the best we can be. And he'll get behind that because he's such a winner. He loves winning. We lost to St. Joe's last year in Barclays, and he had 18 rebounds, set career high. And he had played unbelievable, and he was the most mad player I've ever coached. I'm serious, in the locker room. And that's when I knew we were going to be good. That's what I'll tell you. Let's just get back to the competitiveness of winning games, and all that other stuff will take care of itself.
What is the identity? We know the identity of Grant McCasland. What is the identity of this Texas Tech team this year?
I think the identity needs to be, when things get tough, how connected can this team be? And that's what I want this group to be about, is just how well can we scrap for each other in every scenario. And it doesn't look the same in every game, but we need to find what that is. And when people watch us play, to go, man, these dudes really love each other. That's what I want the identity of this group to be like. Man, these dudes, not only do they play hard, but do they you can tell they really care about each other as teammates. That really is what I hope our identity is.
Preseason number 10 in the AP Top 25, an Elite 8 run last year, and sky-high expectations for Grant McCasland and Texas Tech basketball. Always appreciate your time. Enjoyed it. Thank you very much, and be well. Good luck this year, Coach.
Rack 'em.
All right, there's Grant McCasland joining us here, talking Texas Tech hoops from Big 12 Media Days on Big 12 Radio, on TuneIn, and Big 12 Studios. Talking Texas Tech hoops, along with King McClure, the former Baylor guard. I am Ari Temkin, and we're joined right now by Chris Anderson and JT Toppin from Texas Tech. 2 big-time players. JT, the Player of the Year last year in the Big 12, and the preseason Player of the Year. So how do you outdo what you did last year?
Really just do what I did every day last year. Just keep going day by day and just keep competing.
How close were you to leaving?
It was a long decision, very long decision, but I just felt like Texas Tech was just closer to home for me for this year, so it was best decision for me.
Are there things that you felt like, all right, if I work on these things, then I can get to the next level and get drafted where I think I should be?
Yeah, for sure. Most definitely. Just get work on my skill a bit more. Most definitely, it was a best decision.
So what'll be the biggest difference that we see in your game this year compared to last year?
I'll be ball handling it more. I'll be shooting a little bit more shots, and really just mostly ball handling and shooting.
Same thing for you, Christian, because I watched the Texas Tech-Oklahoma scrimmage a little bit, and to me it looked like your playmaking skills have gotten so much better. I mean, last year you were a scorer. This year it seems like they're really trusting you to hold it down at that point guard spot. So what is it this offseason that you spent the most time working on?
I mean, I worked on a lot of my body and just basically getting my weight up, trying to be like a little bit more physical, handle a little bit more pressure. But I think I've always had the capability to, kind of do what you saw, like, ball handle, make plays, be off the bounce a little bit. But yeah, it's all about, roles and fit. And last year I had to do what was best to fit the team. And this year I'm going to do what's best to fit the team again. And if that's more ball handling, then I'll do it. And, Coach Mack and the staff believes that I can do it. And they've seen me do it in Germany and all these places. And I think that's where I'm most comfortable in myself too. So I think it just comes natural to me. But, I think passing is definitely something that I'm ready to show this year more too.
So how big was that for you to go play overseas and come back to, American college basketball, but you're playing against pros over there? How big of, I guess, an adjustment was that to where now you can take what you learned and carry that over here?
Yeah, it was, I think it was a great experience for just me as a person and my game overall, just because you're seeing the best guys in the world. And then, players like Dennis Schroeder and Franz and guys who are super good at what they do at the highest level in basketball, and just kind of taking their work ethic. And I've always had a strong work ethic, but seeing how they take care of their bodies too, and how they lead on their teams, and do all that kind of stuff, I think it just helps me see and helps me bring it to Texas Tech and help me see things in a new light. And I think it's just going to progress the team and change my mindset of seeing things. And Coach Mack's also doing a great job of helping me get to that point too. So I think that's kind of the biggest jump, that playing over there and playing against guys like Luka and all those guys and seeing how they do things has helped me jump, and it's helped me progress so much as a player too.
What's the most important thing you took away from that experience? And specific to maybe learning from Schroeder or Luka or...
Yeah, specifically from those guys, I would just say how they take care of their body and how they lead. Like Luka, especially Schroeder, and Franz, they're super vocal guys, and you can't get to that point in life kind of not being able to open your mouth. So kind of that's the biggest takeaway I've had from it. Yeah.
JT, how much pressure is it for you last year, right? Last year you were a player of the year in the Big 12. This year you were picked to win player of the year again. How much
so basically
pressure?
You have to do that or it's disappointing.
So basically you have a certain standard that you have to live up to, and if you don't achieve that, then it's almost as if, I hate to say it like this, but it's almost as if you failed. So how much pressure do you feel currently?
Not really none, to be honest. I feel like if you got pressure on you, that means you're doing something right. I mean, you're doing all the right things. So I don't really got any pressure on me. I feel like I had more pressure on me last year, just coming from a mid-major conference, trying to step up my game on a big stage. So this year it's really just the same mindset, the same work ethic. So it's not really that much pressure, but it definitely, seeing all this stuff is different. It's okay, hold on, I'm getting a lot of these accolades. I gotta stay humble, be low-minded, but it's not really no pressure. I just say it's just a lot of thinking into it.
All right, let's get real. So with the accolades and everything that both you guys are getting, and the amount of money that I've been hearing that you've been dished out, all right, how do you stay humble as a 19, 20-year-old kid with all of this money, all the success. Because look, I feel like when I was at Baylor, right, I was feeling myself and I ain't had no money, right? I was broke. Right? We was getting $1,500 checks a month and I was broke, all right? Yeah. So how, as a 18, 19-year-old kid with all this money, all the success, and being a college basketball player, how do you remain humble throughout all of this?
Because I just feel like it's not the end goal. Like, at the end of the day, I got a passion for basketball. So, like, I definitely got a dream of making it pro, going to the big leagues. So I just feel like it's not the end game. So, like, I can't just get too excited just because, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I got to stay level, keep working to get to my dream, because at the end of the day, that's my dream, that's my goal. So really just not get excited. I mean, you're going to get a little big head now and then because, there's a lot of opportunities that come with that. But really just because I got a dream and I really got a passion for basketball. So it's not the end goal.
Christian?
Yeah, kind of like JT said, it's not the end goal, and we not playing to be college players, and we're not playing to get money in college. Like, I don't know, it's hard to get cocky when there's a bunch of players better than you, and you got so much more to achieve and reach. So, and with the new NIL landscape, it's changed college basketball, and I think it's allowed us to focus on what's really important. I mean, school and basketball, and we don't have to worry about financial things. So, and I think it just makes it so much easier for us to accomplish our goal and stay humble in the process, because we're trying to achieve much bigger things, and what what others might say is getting money now. We're trying to win championships and reach our lifelong goals. So that's how you stay humble, I would say.
These are two of the key pieces to a top 10 AP top 25 team in Texas Tech, and JT Toppin and Chris Anderson. Good luck this year, guys. Appreciate your time.
Appreciate you.
Big 12 Today here on Big 12 Radio, heard exclusively on TuneIn. You're watching us live on Big 12 Studios with Ari Timken. I'm James Westling. We're now joined by Arizona coach Tommy Lloyd. Coach, in your first 4 years, you've won 112 games. That is the second most all-time in college basketball through 4 seasons.
Does it feel like it?
I mean,
That's a lot of wins.
I feel like there's a couple of those losses I'd like to have back. I mean, guys, I'm at a great spot, and I think you got to keep things in perspective. I was fortunate enough to get my first head coaching job at an elite program with great bones. A lot of guys have to cut their teeth in a different way, and so the one thing, one of the reasons I didn't maybe leave Gonzaga. I mean, there's multiple reasons. For one, I loved it there, and it was the place, where we felt like we needed to be. But I just have such a respect for how hard this coaching stuff is, and I'm no genius. And there's a lot of good coaches out there that leave an assistant coaching job and take a first tough job, and for whatever reason they're not able to win. And it might not be them, it might just be the place, it might be the circumstances. So I never wanted to put myself in that situation. I was so happy at Gonzaga and felt like, I was Coach Few allowed me to contribute to an elite program, and I didn't want to disvalue that, and then I didn't want to think that I had this magic wand and anywhere I go I just won. So I waited so long to be a head coach. And it was 22 years. I'm joking there, but I waited 22 years, and somehow I ended up at the Arizona job. So I think I'm pretty lucky. Let's put it that way. I don't know. So let's not make too much out of this or that. My circumstances allowed me to be pretty lucky in the first job I got.
Is this the youngest team you've coached? I mean, you guys have an elite recruiting class coming in, top 2 in the country. You've just brought in a ton of high-level talent. But we look at your roster and we see a lot of freshmen.
Yeah, no, I mean we're definitely have some youth, but I think when people watch us play, I don't think they're going to feel like we're young. So I feel good. I feel good where we're at. We were intentional with how we put the team together, and we feel like it's a team that's going to allow us to be competitive nationally. And now you got to go out and do the work.
Is what you said earlier what makes you such a good coach and makes you so smart? Is you know the things you do not know?
I don't know. I mean, you're so much smarter than me. You just confused me right there over that question. I mean, that's I don't know. I mean, was that a double negative?
No, you know you don't know everything, right? I mean that's the smartest people on earth.
I mean, there are a few geniuses, but that's a dangerous world maybe to be living in, and people that think they're geniuses are not. So, listen, I'm a kid from Kelso, Washington, who somehow loved basketball, playing in his driveway, and just kind of been able to ride that wave and work really hard and end up in a good spot. So I think, one of the attributes you always have to have that you cannot lose is gratitude and just an awareness of where you're at. And that doesn't mean that, we need to be cheesy and over the top with it, but I'm grateful for where I'm at. And that there's a certain set of circumstances that allowed me to get here, and probably a little bit of it good luck, probably a little bit of it hard work, probably a little bit of it timing. So I try not to overthink it. And then guys, I have it very simple. I live a simple life, day to day. I'm a day-to-day guy, and so, not that I'm not looking ahead, build my program, but I really just try to stay in the moment and live day to day.
Last year, I know that there were stretches where you guys didn't shoot it very well from 3. How are you this year in terms of roster construction, and what's Arizona basketball going to look like this season?
Well, I mean, hopefully a lot of the things we've looked like the past years. I think it's important to have an identity, and you don't necessarily want to be, the best programs that I know aren't reinvent themselves every year. I mean, you're looking at, tapes from one season to the next, and there's a lot of similarities, in the DNA of a successful team. So I'm hoping you see a lot of the same things we've had, a team that shares the ball, that plays with great effort, plays with great pace, plays with force, values paint points, is physical. I mean, I hope you see all those things. I'm hoping we're overall a little better shooting team than we were last year, but, I'm never a guy that's, put shooting is the most important thing to winning and losing basketball games. There's so many more things that go into a game than just having the ability to make a 3. That for sure it's important. But I think it's easy for people that are just solely analytic driven, or for fans to fixate on that because it's kind of a shiny object.
Yeah,
but for
totally.
us, we like to have a little more depth to what we do.
You got a couple of freshmen that are studs. In Koa Pete and Braden Berries. I guess just give us a sense here of those guys and maybe what surprised you about them now that you have them on campus.
Well, one of the great things, one of the biggest surprises has been there's been no surprises. I mean, we watched those kids for a couple years and and obviously got to really know them and their families well in the recruiting process, and just we felt like these guys were instant high-level contributors and had the competitive character that you're looking for. And, you look at what allows freshmen to be successful. Well, it's a couple things. Physically, you got to be ready. They check that box. And then, you got to be competitive. They check that box. And then, you have to have a certain amount of basketball IQ, / experience. Well, I think their basketball IQ is going to allow them to get experience fast. So I'm excited about them. And we have some other freshmen that are going to play as well. Dwayne Aristote and Ivan Karchinkov, are going to see significant roles in this team as well. And, they're both physically ready to play at this level. They probably just need a little bit of experience to kind of solidify them as being, night in and night out contributors.
And with your veterans that you have coming back, Jaden Bradley at the point, he's such a physical guard and can get downhill. And then we saw him shoot it much better in the Big 12 and NCAA tournament. He was over 50% from three. He was 8 of 15 in the postseason. What's his game look like? What's he been working on, and what do you need from him?
Well, JB's the floor general. I mean, he's kind of, you got your old school point guard vibes where he's going to do whatever the team needs for him, for us to be successful. So, JB's reliable. I mean, he's an everyday guy, and there's great comfort for me, being a head coach, knowing that he's our point guard. But, we also have another guy, Tobe Awaka. Tobe's a beast, and, he gives everything, every possession. We had a kind of a team talk, a few weeks ago, and we were kind of going through some things, and off the cuff, I asked Tobe, I said, Tobe, why do you play so hard? And without hesitation in front of the team, he said, it's for my teammates. And I thought that was really powerful. And, another guy, that we were really expecting to really contribute this year, Anthony Del Orso, has really made, he made significant jump, kind of got his first taste of high-level college basketball last year, and he's really put some work in on his body and kind of what he's going to need to be successful. And then, there's kind of the forgotten 7-2 guy. It's hard to forget about Mo Crevis, but, he kind of was – his season was shortened last year by injuries, and he was never at 100%, and now he's at 100% and looking as good as ever. So I'm excited.
I'm asking every coach their thoughts on the zone defense, and I'm very curious for your answer here.
Why?
I don't know. You're an interesting guy. That you've obviously got a great a great basketball mind. I'm curious for.
I'm giving you a hard time.
No, I know.
He read an article in The Athletic.
He did read an article in The Athletic. Yeah, no. You know what's funny? I was speaking at the Rotary Club in Tucson, Arizona, last week, and and I go and I'm not as prepared as I should be. And I show up and I'm like, what is this Rotary Club thing all about? And next thing I know, it's like 250 people that are just like fired up and excited. And so I get up there and I'm talking, and you go through the deal and the spiel, and then, some guy puts up his hand and he's like, "Hey, coach, are you ever gonna zone or press?" And I'm like,
"What'd you say?"
I'm like, "Why?" And he's kind of looked at me, and I just said, "Hey, I'm just joking, I'm messing with you." But yes, I am. And what's your name, sir? And he's Jim. I'm Jim or whatever. I'm like, "Okay, guys, when we zone or press this here and it doesn't work, it's Jim's fault." And so, but yeah, no, we of course you work on presses and zone, and we pressed, intermittently some last year. It just, you just got to get to know your team and know what works a little bit. But for sure, I mean, we're always looking at things. And one of the reasons you put in a zone, early in the season is, you want to be able to practice against it.
Yeah.
And so
when teams go zone against you.
Yeah, for sure. So there's lots of consideration that goes into it. But the Big 12. The one thing I know about the league in just the short time I've been here, it's a rebounding league. If you can't rebound, good luck. So if you play, a defense that maybe you're not great rebounding out of, it don't matter if they miss that first shot, because they're going to get it and they're going to dunk the second one and foul your team out. So, I think there's a lot of consideration that goes into it.
Yeah, really good stuff. Coach, appreciate your time as always. Tommy Lloyd, Arizona basketball. Thanks for being here.
Did you guys get to go hold those puppies?
Of course. course.
Like that was literally like I feel like I just had counseling. Like,
I know. We've had players holding the puppies. They're like therapy dogs, and you
They
could
are
just see there's
therapy
just a
dogs.
sense of calm.
We've got coffee and puppies aside. I mean, we're flanked by two really good situations
So
here.
one's getting you fired up, and the other one's
Exactly.
kind of calming you down.
Exactly.
I like the combination.
The best of both worlds.
All right, guys. Thank you for everything.
Thank you. Great to
Arizona
see you.
basketball coach Tommy Lloyd here at Big 12 Media Days on Big 12 Radio and Big 12 Studios. Big 12 Today here on Big 12 Radio, heard exclusively on TuneIn, watching us live on Big 12 Studios here at Big 12 Basketball Media Days with Ari Timken down there at the end. I'm James Westling. We've got Arizona Wildcat basketball players Tobe Awaka and Koa Pete, the veteran and the young guy. So take us through this offseason and the chemistry that has developed. We'll start with you because you're the vet with all these young guys that are on this team this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's been really, really exciting. They're a very mature class, sort of mature beyond their years, and it's been fun to see them grow. I think the thing that I'm most impressed with is just sort of the focus and the intensity that they bring each day. There's really no drop-off, and just seeing them sort of grow through the ups and the downs of the season because, obviously when you come into college for the first time, there's going to be a learning curve, but just to see how they've sort of taken that adversity and accepted it, embraced it, and moved through it. It's been great to see.
Koa, 6 siblings?
Yeah, 6.
6 siblings?
I'm the 7th.
You're the 7th. And talk to the mic if you wouldn't mind. No worries. Why'd you play football? Isn't like most of your family football players?
Yeah, most of my family played football. I think just seeing my sisters play basketball really inspired me, and I think just my body type, how tall I got at a young age, and just my love for basketball really grew, especially during the pandemic. And I really started working hard on my body and everything, and I think I just really fell in love with the game, and I started getting push from college coaches, and I just really wanted to focus on one sport. It's hard to play 2 sports now.
No, for sure.
Players are getting a lot better at like skill-wise, especially for basketball. You gotta really be focused and be in the gym.
So what kind of advice have you gotten from family members that have played at the highest level, whether it's football or basketball?
Yeah, I think just from a young age, they really instilled hard work and just keeping my head down and just being a good character. They instilled that in me, and I think they put down the stepping stones for me, and I've seen them all go through their processes, and I'm just trying to come along. But I think I'm better than most of them, like my older brothers and sisters, just because of their learning experiences and the stuff they give to me, and I think I'm doing a good job with it.
Tobe, you were a top 5 rebounder in the Big 12 this past season. You had a huge game against Oregon in the NCAA tournament, a double-double, 12 points and 14 rebounds. Your coach was talking about your leadership, and you play so hard and so physical. Why?
I think it's a testament to my parents, just seeing them work day in, day out to provide a good life for me and my siblings. And then obviously I think that overall, when you're playing the game and you're going through adversity, there has to be something, bigger than yourself that you're playing for. And for me, that's God, that's Jesus Christ, that's for me personally. But I think those things combined has sort of built me into the person that I am today. And I try to, show that on the basketball court day in, day out.
Koa, there's so much talk about the freshmen coming into this conference. Darren Peterson, AJ DeBanza. Do you feel like you're being shortchanged a little bit, even on your own team, with another 5-star?
I mean, I don't really look into all that stuff, but the main thing for me is just keep the main thing, stay in the gym, and all that other stuff will take care of itself.
How would you guys describe? Arizona was a really unique case study last year because you guys played up tempo, really physical, would have really good shooting nights and then really bad shooting nights. How would you describe the identity of this Arizona basketball team?
I think for sure this year and last year, I think it's love, as unique as that may be. Love for each other, love for the game, love for the community. And when all those things are working in unison, when all those things are in sync, I think something very special and beautiful can happen. And, I think that's something that, Coach Lloyd's been preaching day in and day out, sort of harping on, who we are as a team, what we're trying to do, what we're trying to establish for ourselves. And I think sort of understanding that allows us to sort of play with that identity, on our chest, every single game.
It's funny talking to you. You're kind of softer spoken than I would have expected. I mean, you only have one speed you play with, and that is an intensity. And I mean, it's a fan favorite type of speed because it's easy to root for a guy that's constantly hustling and rebounding. And so, I mean, where does that come from? Not just your upbringing, but then also it doesn't seem to mix your personality. Like off the floor, you seem like a good, nice guy, like not as intense as you are on the floor.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's just the way I grew up playing. I think when I was younger, didn't really have any offers until late my senior year. I was kind of overlooked for the most part towards the end of my senior year, so I sort of got traction and all that kind of stuff, and was playing EYBL, and my coach at the time, Dana Dingle, for the New York Lightning, he just kind of told me, like, if you lead the EYBL in rebounding, you can make it D1 to the level that you want to play at. So I took that to heart, and that's kind of been sort of my brand ever since.
Do you guys watch any sports outside of basketball, or is it just basketball?
Yeah, I watch the NFL.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cardinals?
I like the Steelers this year. My brother plays for the Steelers.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
of course.
That.
How did I not know that? Steelers. All right. How about you?
I like to watch soccer here and there.
Okay, little soccer.
Just basically whatever pops up. I'm not really good at like following like clubs and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I guess something like the Premier League.
I don't watch sports.
Oh.
Couldn't tell you. Just kidding. That's a joke.
But yeah, something like the Premier League is on, or whatever's on. I'll tune in.
It's a thing. This guy, he claims I don't watch sports
because he doesn't.
Because it's our
Be like,
job.
oh, did you watch the game last night? No.
And we love it. And sometimes
We don't know what to talk about.
sometimes there are times I'd like to sit on my couch and watch Netflix. And there's nothing wrong with that, guys. Thank you.
Well, when you say sometime,
sometimes
he does watch Big 12 games. I'll give him that.
Yeah, give me that.
He watches Big 12 football, Big 12 basketball.
All right, who's your favorite athlete then outside of?
That's not your brother.
Of basketball, you can't say your brother.
Outside of basketball.
Yeah, outside of basketball. So that's why I asked you guys if you watch sports outside of basketball.
I'm gonna go Serena Williams.
That's a good one.
Okay.
That's a very good one.
Baller.
Dominant, badass.
She's doing all these weight loss commercials.
Well,
Serena. Yeah.
She can do whatever she wants. She's Serena. Okay.
I know. She's Serena. She's crushing it. I'm just saying that's what I think of Serena right now because she's all over my Hulu.
Who's your soccer player then?
I would say Messi.
Messi.
Yeah.
If I knew soccer better, I could find somebody that plays your style in soccer. You know what I mean?
For
Like
sure.
there's
Probably like a defender.
Yeah. Do you ever watch like old Dennis Rodman clips?
No.
Do you know who that is?
I do know who that is. I do know how. Yeah.
Have you seen Last Dance?
Yes.
Highly recommend.
I've seen that twice actually.
But go watch like Dennis Rodman. I mean, talk about a high flyer. I mean, pound for pound, the greatest rebounder ever.
Ari's radio co-host and NBA scout.
I mean, I'm not scouting. Like, it's pretty obvious. He's amazing, and he was like 6'8". Greatest rebounder, pound for pound ever. So,
awesome
stuff. And I feel like Tobey has got it in him to be a Dennis Rodman type.
No,
you know?
for sure. He's a beast. He's a beast. You guys are awesome. Can't wait for this season, man. Arizona basketball. It's gonna be good.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you so much.
Koa Pete, Tobey Awaka here at Big 12 Basketball Media Days. We are talking Arizona here on Big 12 Radio and Big 12 Studios.
Let's talk Iowa State hoops with TJ Otzelberger, Iowa State men's basketball coach, along with James Westling. I'm Ari Temkin, and this is Big 12 Radio at Big 12 Basketball Media Days. How are you, TJ?
Doing great. Thanks, Ari.
Appreciate your time, as always. It's weird to be talking to a coach with, like, a pretty high level of consistency across their roster. I mean, that's so unique in college basketball right now. I mean, most teams are like introducing themselves to each other at this start of the year, and here you are. I mean, you've got new players, but for the most part, you got a lot of guys back from last year's team. How much of an advantage does that give you in a world where not many teams have that?
Well, we're fortunate, not only the 5 guys who return, the retention piece, but also what they are, who they are as people, their game, how they all fit together, the pride they have in our program. That's also part of it. So it gives us an edge when we start our workouts in the summer, when you have guys that could say, this is how we've done things here, this is how we do things here, this is the standard, certainly. So, and then those guys have familiarity with each other's strengths, how to play together. I think that gives you a sense of confidence offensively. So something that we need to use as a strength that benefits us. Hopefully it serves us well in terms of getting off to a great start to the season.
Coach, last year, towards the tail end, you guys were pretty beat up. So tell us this season about, with all the returners you have coming back, but also what you learned about making sure that you have quality depth in this league in the postseason.
Well, I think more than anything, for our team, we play a style that we want to be physical, we want to be rugged, we want to get after the basketball, pressure people, turn them over. And so there's certain personnel on our team that really helps do a great job of that. And certainly Taman Lipsey, who's here with us today, sets the tone for us both on both sides of the floor. So, when you're at deficit physically, that puts you in a tough spot when you want to play defense where you impose your will. And so certainly having depth is a huge benefit if you're fortunate enough to do so. And it's something that we know is necessary to play in the Big 12.
Is there a balance in, playing too difficult of a non-conference schedule and not being like, you obviously want to play up in competition and get ready for those types of games, and certainly playing the Big 12 does, but I mean, is there a balance there between playing too difficult of a non-conference schedule?
Well, I think every coach has to know their team, right? And what that team needs on a particular year for them to be at their best is going to be important. The teams that have the best character and resiliency can endure taking a loss or having a hard game and a hard-fought loss and knowing that they're going to be better for it. What you've got to protect against is when you have too many of those opportunities and they can start to challenge your confidence or they can challenge your belief in winning. And so it's always a juggling or balancing act for a coach year in and year out to do its best for that program and their team. It's something we'll continue to be very intentional with.
TJ, who are the guys that have to fill that void from Curtis Jones, who was just a walking bucket last year at times in Big 12 play?
Yeah, it's a big shoes to fill. I mean, Kurt was north of 17 points a game, and in league play had so many games where he just had it rolling, and that's challenging. It's not a one-person come right in and do that job, and so I think for us it's going to come down to having better ball movement, guys sharing the ball better, a willingness to make the extra pass, and understanding what great shots are for our team. But it's going to have to be a collective effort because we've brought in some transfers, we've got some good freshmen, but none of them are in position that we should be asking them, hey, we need 17 tonight and be the most aggressive scoring guard in the conference. That's who Kurt was for us a year ago.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm asking every coach their thoughts on zone defense. What are your thoughts on the zone?
Yeah, I mean, zone is it's a necessary thing in terms of keeping teams off balance and providing a different look, changing the rhythm or the momentum of a game, certainly. For us, our program's built on a physical man-to-man defense that we take a lot of pride in, but we're not too stubborn to say that there's not a right time to consider playing zone and what that might be for your team. So our preference is certainly man, and that's probably the 80-90% in our program. And always will be, but like the zone is a necessary thing that can be a resource.
Is it like when you think about zone, how do you think about it? Do you think in terms of like a 1-3-1, 2-3, or is it more like variations of those?
Well, we play a defense where we try to turn people over a lot with our aggressiveness, and so we want to also play a zone that's reflective of our personalities. So something that generates more turnover. So it doesn't mean, we favor one over another. Like 1-3-1's probably a little more high risk, high reward. If we were to play some 2-3, it'd probably be with some trapping the ball in certain places or doing things to be disruptive as well.
Well, it's got to be nice having a point guard who's like 37 years old, because Taman has been at Iowa State forever and played in so many high-level games. What does he mean to Iowa State basketball?
Yeah, he means so much to us, so we're going to try to keep him for another 10 years.
yes, there it is.
Home is in Ames. I don't think anybody, with all the waivers and things that people have going these days,
right?
Why would you want to move a guy from his home? Why wouldn't you want to allow him to fulfill his dream in his hometown with the people that he loves?
Play into his 40s.
Yeah, so that's what I think. I think Taman's, 22 or whatever now, and I think he should be able to to play mid-30s probably. I'd be fine with that, like 35, 36. So we'll continue to extend his eligibility, and we'll force the NCAA to peel him off the court next season.
There it is. In a league with a lot of great coaches, T.J. Otzelberger takes a backseat to none of them. Appreciate your time as always, Coach. Good luck this season. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
T.J. Otzelberger, Iowa State head basketball coach, joining us here on Big 12 Radio and Big 12 Studios. Appreciate it. Let's talk Iowa State Cyclones hoops here from Men's Basketball Media Days T-Mobile Center in Kansas City. Talk with Milan Momcilovic, Taman Lipsey, and Joshua Jefferson. And as you guys sat down, it was like, this is weird, talking to three guys in the same team that were on the same team last year. How much of an advantage does that give you, where a lot of other teams are introducing themselves at this point of the year?
I think it gives us a huge advantage, bringing a group of three guys, including two more guys that are returning from last year's team, but just having that core to bring into this team this new year, and bringing those new members in and kind of just helping them throughout the year, and just bringing them into the program and helping them adapt to how we do things at Iowa State.
It's huge. I think our chemistry is really good. Coming from last year, I think we all played really well with each other. And then just trying to fill in those new guys and teach them what we know with the league, and then showing them the ropes.
Yeah, I think kind of like they said, is we know how to play with each other now. So it's not going to take like a couple games to learn each other and how they play. We know how each other plays and our tendencies and what we like and what we don't like.
Feels like injuries derailed last year. Did you guys peak too early last season?
Yeah, I mean, truth of the matter is we did peak too early. I think we got up to number 2 in the country. And then we
went over Auburn. Is that what it was? It was like a crazy week where you won like 2 games against top 5 teams.
Yeah, I think that was, I don't know when that was, but and then it kind of went downhill. We got a couple injuries, so a lot of things happened. But I think it was a great learning experience for all of us.
Yeah, and I think our staff and our trainers have done a much better job of trying to keep us healthy throughout the whole year, changing what we're doing on our lifts, and then just prioritizing our bodies, so maintain that we can maintain that success throughout the whole year this year.
Yeah, I'd say we learned a lot from last year, like Joshua said, with our bodies and how to maintain that throughout this year. So putting more emphasis on that, because the ceiling was super high for us last year. We just reached it a little too early and then weren't able to maintain it. So just learning from that whole experience.
I'm curious what you guys each think of T.J. Otzelberger. What stands out about him as a coach?
His
or
energy,
person?
For both coaching and just him as a person, his energy, his daily habits, what he does every day. He's super consistent. He's always in the weight room before practice, and just the things he goes on to do in his day, it seems like they're always the same thing. He knows how to go about them, and that's why we respect him so much, is because he does it. He's not just telling us to do it.
Yeah, I think just harping off of Taman, his consistency is what he tries to emulate in all of us. Just trying to be consistent every single day, not having too many high days, too many low days, just being consistent all the way through.
Yeah, he's just a great leader of men, and he knows how to lead a program. He knows how to get everyone at the right spot, right time, and just the things he does to make this team and make this program good. That's how great of a leader he is.
Taman, is there a better on-ball defender in the country than you?
I personally don't think so. I think we got a lot of good on-ball defenders on our team, though, which is going to help us this year. Killian Torre is a freshman for us, and we've been going at each other. I've been out recently, but this summer and early fall,
the energy that he brings to on-ball defense is super impressive, especially for a freshman. But that's something I take pride in is being a great on-ball defender and just a defender in general, and making it tough for the guy I'm going against and causing turnovers and speeding them up and whatever I can do. But I take pride in that, and I feel like I'm the best in the country.
How are you feeling? You mentioned you've been out, and obviously you've had some health injury concerns over the last couple of years. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, last couple of years has been a lot of ups and downs with injuries, which sucks, but sometimes that happens with basketball. So I had an MCL sprain a couple weeks back, so I've been recovering from that. At first, it was really slow, not being able to do much, but it was in a brace, but no longer in a brace. Jogged for the first time a couple days ago, and just taking those steps to try to be on pace to play.
Did you have like an eye issue last year? I was trying to remember exactly. You had like an eye issue or something?
I broke my thumb. I had a shoulder injury and a groin injury.
Okay, so not an eye. It was the thumb.
Yeah.
Never had an eye injury. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know. I remembered it differently. Yeah, thumbs. Thanks, Si. Appreciate it. Good luck this year, guys. Appreciate it very much. It's fun to watch you play, and can't wait to see the season.
Thank you.
Big 12 Radio, Big 12 Today, and we are super excited to be joined right now by the head coach of the Kansas Jayhawks, Bill Self, along with James Westling and King McClure, the former Baylor guard. I am Ari Temkin. How are you, Coach? You look great.
You do.
You know what? When people say you look great, that means that you didn't look great before. So I've had more people say you look great, which means you really look like crap before, but I'll take the compliment. I appreciate it, guys.
But I mean, you obviously have had some health scares, so I mean, change diet, change exercise.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, I had a knot put on my head this summer, and you know what? It's kind of a continuation of the last 2 years, not really feeling well and not really understanding probably that I needed to make some drastic changes with my heart health. And so I'm doing better. And certainly they told me I need to do some things. And for once, I'm actually taking them at their word and taking them seriously. You know, It's like King back when he played for Coach Drew. He would probably tell him things that he needed to do, and King would say, no, you just don't understand. I know my game better than you do, and this is what I do. And then when he finally started doing it, he probably played more. And it's the same thing with the doctors telling patients is there's a reason why, you've been laid up and you got to correct it or it's going to happen again. And maybe you won't be as fortunate as you were this last time.
100%, and I see what you mean right there.
Yeah.
No,
hey, was that a good analogy?
That was a really good analogy.
Okay.
Is that how you, when you coach, are you an analogy type of coach?
You know what? I don't know what I am, but I will tell you this: the most freshmen that have the most success are the ones that know they don't know. And the ones that think they do are usually the ones that labor and fight you the most, and it takes them longer for it to kick in and for you to get it. So I don't know if I'm a big analogy person, but I do comparisons from time to time because I see so many things that we can do in life is how we can learn how to do things from others, but we can also learn what not to do from others. And so many times players, hey guys, listen to me. He didn't buy into this, and he was stubborn to the point where it ended up hurting him. Don't be like that. This is what you have to do to help us win. And if you do what helps us win and you're out there and playing more, guess what? You're going to get more freedom to actually expand your game once you get out there, as opposed to having a shorter leash, so to speak, that one mistake and you come out. And it takes a while. Some guys get it immediately, and some guys don't.
Coach, you brought in Jock Vaughn as an assistant, a KU legend at point guard. What have you seen from him and in his development of your guards?
Well, I think it's too early to talk about the development aspect of it. But it's not too early to talk about how he works with them on a daily basis and how he can teach them how to see the game through a lens of somebody that's done something that every player in our program aspires to do at some point in time in their career. So he's been great. We've been so blessed. I had Danny on staff. Now I got Jock on staff.
Yeah.
I mean, KU legends, but even have gone on and experienced things that I think the respective players hope that they get a chance to experience. And with Jock, he's worked with guys that have gotten better, and then he can still throw out there Kevin and Kyrie too, which I think gets people's attention immediately and gives him more credibility, which in turn helps Kansas. And so he's been great.
Any freshmen on the roster this year?
We've actually got a good freshman class. There's some freshmen that aren't talked about as much. Bryson Tiller, nobody's really talking about Bryson. Bryson's good. He's good.
Yeah.
Cole Rosario?
Well, Salmis Calderon. Athlete from OTE. Got to figure out how the game is played at this level, but probably the best athlete on our team.
Wow.
And then there's a kid named Rosario Cole's good. I mean, he's really good. He'll start at least start this Friday in our first game. So it'll be his position at least that he's won thus far. And then I'm thinking, is there anybody? Oh yeah, we got this other cat named Peterson that actually people have talked about, and he's been what everybody has billed him to be plus. So I like our freshman class.
Best freshman or best player? Now I guess time will tell. But I couldn't remember if I heard you say he's the best freshman you've had. Obviously, he hasn't played a game yet, so that's who knows what happens.
I don't know that he's the most talented player / prospect I've ever had. Wiggs was the best prospect. Joel, when we first got him, he didn't start, and then he emerged into that. I think that Darren, day one, is our best player, and he's a terrific prospect. But it still remains to be seen if he can impact a game at a higher level in the ways that some of the best ones have. But when you really think about it, and I hadn't thought about this, when you think about our best players, you don't think about the freshmen.
No, right.
I was literally talking to somebody about that earlier.
You think about our second and 3-year guys, like the best freshman, Joel, obviously, but he wasn't Joel until later on.
Yeah.
Right.
Wiggs was great. But at the same time, I actually think there's a level Darren can get to that's the college freshman equivalent.
Wow.
And then to me, the most equipped freshman we've had is Josh Jackson. When you combined ball handling, passing, shooting, defense, dog, a lot of the things, he was probably as equipped to be a great player as any of them. But he also had Mason and Graham on the same team.
Yeah.
So if you just talk about entering guys into school, it's not close. He's at a really high level.
Coach, last year didn't go as you predicted it to go. And out of curiosity, what happened?
You know what? I don't know that, Keen. I don't know if it's that I didn't predict it. I think last year I was always nervous that the expectations exceeded kind of what our talent level was. That's not the kid's fault. That's not anybody's fault. That's a reflection of a program. When you return a Hunter Dickinson, a 3-year starter in KJ Adams, and a 4-year starter in DeJuan Harris, basically. So I mean, I get it. But that team last year, we knew in the summer, we knew in the fall, we better make shots. Or, we better be elite at something, because we didn't have the firepower, the athleticism that you could go out and create havoc and turn defense into offense, stuff like that. I think that this year's team is more equipped to deal with, if we're making shots, great. If we're not making shots, we can still find a way to make the other team play bad. If, this team is more equipped to deal with the plethora of different situations that go on in a basketball game over time, as opposed to, Zeke, he better make shots tonight, or we probably not going to be in it, because that's the way it was last year. It's not a knock to anybody, but it probably was a little bit unfair expectation put on those kids, to be honest with you.
So how do you define that firepower? What are those characteristics? Is it physically, length, athleticism, or is it the mental aspect of the game too?
That's a great question. Length. Are we standing tall? Probably not. You can look at Baylor teams over time, and they got 2 7-footers out there at times. But are we long? Oh my gosh! I've never had guards that are 6'5", 6'4", 6'4". We're big long across the board, but not necessarily big inside, if that makes sense. I think we can switch 5, which last year we couldn't do that, playing Big Hunt at 7'1". We couldn't switch 5. Flory is a guard physically.
Yeah.
So we can do some different things. Now, will people try to bury us and punish us inside by playing to switches? They could, but we got 6'5" guarding the switches, so we can stretch it better. When you think of firepower, I'm thinking, well, can you score from all 5 spots? Do teams have to guard all 5 guys? I think the answer is yes. Last year we didn't have to do that in the same way. So last year's team, and people talk about it, here I am continually talk about it, but it wasn't the most equipped team to make a run at a natty. Was it an equipped team to be better than we were? Absolutely. But this year's team, who knows if we're equipped to make a run because we'll be young and inexperienced. But there's some talents that basically, if we can figure it out, you can put the ball in the player's hand to determine outcomes, as opposed to running a play to determine an outcome.
From a schematic standpoint, are you let's go with what we've got, and that do you think that I didn't say held you back last year, but in a league in a sport that is a lot of high volume 3-point shooting, you just didn't have the shooters. So is it more of that, do you think?
I think that's part of it. But from a schematic standpoint, if you don't make a lot, you better be able to guard the arc too.
Yeah, right.
I mean, so there were games last year, I'm not exaggerating, minimum we get outscored 16 to 24 points from the arc.
Yep.
And then now, if that's the case, you got to make a lot of twos or you got to get to the free throw line. And we shot less free throws last year than, I don't know, it wasn't any team in the league, but we were one of the lowest free throw makes team compared to our opponent's free throw makes. So if you get scored from the line, and if you get outscored from the arc, okay, you better be really elite at something else. And you got to be the best offensive rebounding team. You got to be the best at some other things. And I didn't think that we did that like we're capable of, like hopefully we'll be capable of doing this year.
Hall of Fame coach Bill Self, Rock Chalk. Appreciate you, Coach.
You kind of got some Rock Chalk background, don't you?
Yeah. I'm a KU alum.
I know it.
Tell you every year.
I know you
We
are.
were freshmen together. My freshman year was your first year, and KU lost to Georgia Tech in the Elite Eight, and then we had Bucknell and Bradley.
You know something? Isn't it great to talk to a KU alum and he brings up 3 losses when we've actually had a couple of big wins? King, is this the way it is everywhere?
Yeah, I don't know what he.
I was in New Orleans when we beat North Carolina. It was one of the most fun nights of my life.
You got him so worked up.
But you didn't even bring up that. You brought up,
I mean, I went to KU for 4 years. We lost the first round twice.
Which is actually, think about that. This is what can't happen in today's time. Was that not the best thing that ever happened to us? To go through some crap. So now you got to know just how far you got to go to get to where you want to go. When we won the national championship in 22, in 21, if I'm not mistaken, USC cleaned our clock so bad in the tournament.
That's right.
That I told the team after the tournament, we got to get better players, we got to get more athletes, and we got to do this, and this. And we win it the next year with the exact same roster. But those are the things that happen sometimes, and you got to go through some crap. That team that won it in 08 was a great team. But
Bradley.
Well, that's not the year we won it. But
I'm saying that was a team that came. That was a young. They were all that group was freshmen.
That team didn't know how to respond in crucial pressure type situations until they actually had to go through some stuff. And one thing about it, an abrupt loss doesn't camouflage what the weaknesses are. It exposes them, which now we can know how to attack them better.
Appreciate you, Coach. Thank you.
All right, guys.
Take care.
Appreciate it.
Big 12 Radio. It's Big 12 today. Mike Side with Florby Dunga, Trey White, James Westling, a couple of Jayhawks, and then Kansas State Wildcat, James Westling on the other side.
It's a long time ago, guys.
Feel free to not answer his questions.
It's a long time ago, Trey.
It's a thing.
Trey
was a
past life. Okay. Rock chalk is what they say.
Flory, let's start with you. It looked like there was a time where you weren't going to be coming back. Take me through that process.
It was a lot. Probably one of my biggest decisions I have to make. And obviously had a pretty good talk with Coach Surf, and then the main point, which was I need to finish what I started it, and then here I am back.
Trey, tell us about your game. You're a transfer. There's a lot of hype about this incoming class, not just with Darren Peterson, but also with the portal class coming in. So why'd you choose Kansas, and what do you add to this team?
For one, I chose Kansas just because it was a full circle moment. I was committed to Kansas my freshman year of high school, and then reopened my recruitment. So whenever I entered the portal last year, and they were the first school to hit me up with the same, message of winning at the highest level and being an impact player, it was a no-brainer. And what was the second part of the question?
Just tell us about the way you play, your game. I mean, there's a lot of Big 12 viewers that don't watch a ton of Big 10 basketball.
Yeah. I would say my game is pretty much versatility. I thrive off mismatches, transition. I can shoot the catch and three, but my biggest thing is I want to lock down the other player's best player, be a dog on our end as well. I'm a veteran on this team, too, so I feel like I can bring a little bit of experience to this team, too.
Flory, what's the next step in your game?
Obviously, I'll probably say the leadership. I have to step on that in the area, I'm the only one who played last year is coming back, so obviously
it's crazy.
I had, some knowledge of the game, and then I can't wait to show the newcomers.
Your guys' coach, Bill Self, a legend, he looks almost unrecognizable this year. I mean, his health has been a big topic, and he's shed a lot of weight, and he looks fantastic. What's he like in practice in terms of his energy level, and what do you see on a daily basis? What's it like playing for him and being around him?
From what I've seen, I feel like Flory has a better answer being on both sides of the fence. From what I've seen, his energy is at an all-time high. He's more of an asshole than ever now. He's on our ass every day. But getting back to the point that, being the head of the snake, he's definitely, causing no room for mistakes, no days off for us. So we definitely follow on that. And, our main goal at the end of the year is the national championship. And, he's bringing that energy every day.
100%, he's doing much better with his airfast, as you guys can see. And then, he know what he's doing. He has been doing it for like a long time. And then, all we can do is just like follow what you have to say to us, be coachable, and then everything we don't work.
Flory, what's it like growing up in the Congo, and how'd you get to Indiana?
It's a different environment, not for the week for sure. But so the story was my counselor back home connected me with a school in Indiana, Kokomo High School, which has if not one of the biggest international program, but probably one of the best. I have to do some meeting with the representative of the school, Kokomo, and then after a couple meetings, I finally was accepted. I was really excited. Just me to start my continue my school career here in the States.
Flory, didn't you grow up playing soccer, a completely different sport? When did you start playing basketball? And tell us the story of how you fell in love with the game.
Indeed. I would say if I still didn't play basketball, I'd probably be in Spain right now, playing soccer, also in the Real Madrid or whatever sport. But probably. So I started playing basketball because it was one day, me and my mom, we went shopping actually because, I was start getting taller, and then I need like some taller clothes and stuff. So we were getting shopping. We went to the store, and then we saw like a tall person. Like at first I didn't recognize because he was so tall. I thought it was like a mannequin, just standing in the corner. So he looked at my mom and he asked my mom, does he play basketball? My mom was like, no, he plays soccer. And then he was like, you should play basketball. And I was like, okay, I can try. Here I am.
That's it. Who was the guy? Was it Shaq?
Nah, not at all. I never saw him before.
There's some 7-foot giant out there that's going to watch you someday in the NBA and be like, I told that kid at Dillard's to play basketball. 100%. And here he is.
Yeah, never saw him again after that, but thanks him a lot for the advice that he has given me.
Are there 6'9" soccer players?
I actually played soccer for my high school team my senior years. and then ended up the second leader score as a team. So that's pretty good, you know, seeing a 6'9" guy running at you as a 5'4". It's kind of scary, I would say.
You said grow up in the Congo is not for the weak.
Indeed.
Can you expand on that?
I mean, I would say the US have like more opportunity, you know. I mean, it's not everywhere in the Congo you will see like a indoor stadium, you know. It's like outdoor, you know, it's sunny outside, it's really hot, dust, you know. So we just have to like go to those adversity, you know, just to become who you want to be. So.
Anything else, James? You grew up in Topeka, Kansas. It could not be any different than the Congo.
It's a little bit different.
Did,
yeah, it's a little bit different.
Trey, you grew up in California?
Dallas, Texas.
That's what I thought. Okay, yeah. But so where would you have gone to high school?
Little Elm, probably Duncanville, probably something like that. Yeah.
Duncanville's got a great basketball program.
Yeah, for sure.
We live in Dallas, but I'd always saw like you like Napa or something. So you left to go play.
Yeah, that was my senior year. Yeah, so I don't know why they put that for my hometown, but yeah.
So did you go to Duncanville or did you play? Okay, got it.
Trey,
Duncanville's, by the way, got some good basketball now.
For sure, yeah.
I don't know if they did back then. Football
they
too.
still
but
do, for
yeah.
sure.
Trey, can you shoot?
Of course.
You can shoot?
Yeah, of course
Okay.
I can shoot. Yeah.
Can you
shoot? Can you shoot?
Yeah.
Can he shoot?
I just worked with Lethal Shooter. We had to take this. We had to do like 67 takes. There was only one guy that could make his free throw. It was me.
It was you?
It was me.
Is this true?
Yeah, I mean, no, we all made it. What are you talking about?
See, it's the cameras out. You know how.
Right.
But he's asking a good question because in Florida he saw it too. I mean, I'm a Jayhawk. I watch all the games, and I mean, we need more shooting. Kansas needs more shooting, and so that's gonna be a key this year. And I mean, it'll be very interesting because, as Flory said, he's the only guy back from last year's team. He's a sophomore, and he's extremely explosive. I cannot wait to watch. I think he averaged 5 blocks a game in high schools last year.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were over 1 last year. I'm assuming you were, but you are a high flyer. Just keep doing what you're doing, man, and I can't wait to see your growth this year.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all.
All right, Trey White, Flory Bidunga, right?
Bidunga,
That's
right.
what I thought. Yeah. Appreciate you guys. Good luck this year, Rock Chalk.
Thank you for having me, Rock Chalk. Yes, sir.
There you go, Flory Bidunga, Trey White joining us here from Big 12 Radio and Big 12 Media Days on TuneIn and on the Big 12 Studios.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Big 12 Today here on Big 12 Radio, heard exclusively on TuneIn. You're watching us via Big 12 Studios. James Westling, Ari Timken, King McClure, and the Commissioner, Brett Yormark, sits down with us here at Big 12 Media Days. This event, like everything in the Big 12, has been elevated year over year. This Media Days experience has been second to none.
Thank you for that. I mean, listen, it's intentional. We want to continue to reimagine and invest in all the right moments. Media Days for us, both football and basketball, are tentpole events. And it's an opportunity for us to continue to grow our profile and our narrative and let people know who we are and where we're going. And obviously, we also want to invest in our student athletes. It's a big moment for them, too. It's their coming out party, if you will, especially for the new players. So we're excited to do all we can do to make that a huge moment for them. And I'm just happy we can do it. I'm happy I have a board and a bunch of ADs that want to continue to invest behind the product and do the right thing. And this is certainly indicative of it. We're not in a ballroom. We're at T-Mobile.
Yeah, and the thing that stands out to me, Brett, more than any other year is, I mean, John Rothstein's here, Matt Norlander, and I mean, the biggest college basketball reporters are all here, and that I haven't seen in years past. Like there's a who's who of Big 12 of college basketball media here.
Well, it's interesting you say that because I was just telling my head of PR, I said, listen, I want us to push out on social all the names of those that nationally are covering college basketball that are here today. Because, again, that was intentional. And I think it's indicative of the fact that this year we will be the most widely distributed men's basketball conference in America when you think about our 5 media partners, ESPN and Fox, CBS, TNT, and NBC.
Yeah.
NBC and TNT are new to the Big 12 family. And all their highest profile announcers and those that cover the game are here. They want to learn more about the Big 12. And by the way, the star power of this conference also is a reason why they're here. I mean, you've got 8 of the top 20 high school players from last year are part of the Big 12 this year. You obviously have a lot of great veterans that are returning, and then we were pretty successful in the portal. So there's lots of reasons for it, but I think it starts with the fact that we have 5 media partners covering the Big 12 this year, which is great for our student athletes, our schools, our conference, and anyone who is someone that partners with those media companies are here today.
So is this a situation, all right, just out of curiosity, teach me a thing or two, all right? So just out of curiosity, is this a situation where you want to expand into even more partners, or you one day want to get to 1, 2, potentially 3 and shrink it down?
Well, it's a great question. So ESPN and Fox have been our partners for years. We love them. They're fantastic. And during the last 6 to 8 months, we did some creative sub-licensing with ESPN and Fox to broaden our media coverage. And that's good because where I sit as the commissioner, knowing that we go back into the TV marketplace in January of 30, I want as many partners to like us now and love us when we become a free agent. So here's a chance for some of those media partners to get to know the Big 12, to get to know our schools and our administrators and our coaches, and who knows what happens in January of 30. Now, we love ESPN and Fox, and they've been with us for the longest time, and they are fantastic partners that continue to invest behind the Big 12. But it's also nice to have some of these additional players doing the same thing for us.
Everything in regards to Big 12 basketball events feels like an NBA event. Like it's high level, and the Big 12 has a lot of, coincidentally, former NBA coaches coaching programs in the Big 12. With your NBA background and knowledge, is that something you've tried to kind of carry over to when it comes to basketball in the Big 12?
Well, it's a great question, and I was the CEO of the Brooklyn Nets for 16 years. So I don't want to say I'm rinsing and repeating everything that I did there.
Sure.
But so much of it was transferable to this space. When you think about media coverage and narrative, and how do we celebritize our championships, okay? And how we think about the premium experience for our fans, both on campus or, for that matter, here in Kansas City when we host our tournaments in March. So, yes, it's also intentional because I think that there's a lot from the NBA that we can learn from as we're building the profile of basketball here in the Big 12. and we've done quite a few things already out of their playbook, and we'll do more.
So what's new this year, and what, as you look forward to next year, do you think you anticipate could be new about this event?
Well, I mean, listen, we'll start with yesterday. Last year, we did a survey with our coaches, and they said, hey, these are some of the things we'd love you to lean in on. One of was we want to humanize our players. We want to have a fashion walk. We did that.
Love that.
And I did it myself today. I was showcasing some of the things that I wear, and I'm into fashion a little bit. but the players, both men's and women's, did it. The coaches did it, which was terrific. They also said to us, on the women's side, we want a glam bar. We want to look great.
Yeah.
Why not? When you look great, you feel great.
Yeah.
When you feel great, you play great, right?
Yep.
So SI Swim came in and partnered with us. We wanted to do some collaborations when it came to merch, so we partnered with New Era. Okay. We wanted to continue to elevate and amplify, our narrative, so we have influencers here that are really big on social media. Okay. And then, of course, all 5 media members are here, and we really encourage them to be here and to bring their best. So those are some of the enhancements, not all that we did this year. And then we'll go back into the lab after this year, and we'll say, okay, how do we continue to elevate? How do we continue to take it to another level? And I'm sure we'll come up with a couple of things next year to add to what we've been able to develop this year.
You talk about fashion. You're big into fashion. Every single time I see you, you were extremely fly in a different suit. Okay, so just out of curiosity,
yes,
how many suits do you have?
So I counted my suits the other day, because you got to understand, I every 60 days I go into my closet with my wife, and I ties I don't like anymore, I give them to our doormen at the building, because I never throw anything away. And I do the same thing with my suits. Do I like it? Does it fit right? Does it match right with the ties? But right now I have 21 suits, okay, and they're lined by color, okay, light to dark.
Yeah.
And then
got to color code that.
And then
closet.
beyond that are my blazers, okay, and I have 16 blazers, okay, and the blazers are all color coordinated. So that's kind of my closet. It's a walk-in closet. My wife doesn't share it with me. It's mine own. I had to give one to her, okay. But I go through that process every day, and right or wrong, it works for me.
Hey, if you ever need to give away a tie,
He's not your guy.
I'm not. Hold on. I'm not known to wear ties. However, Brett Yormark gives me a tie.
All right, listen.
I will put a tie on and shout you out on whatever game I'm
There it
doing
is.
or whatever
Listen,
studio
you know
set
what
I'm
the
on.
crazy thing is? So the tie thing, my wife would never throw away a tie, so she'd give it to the doorman, and that's okay, whether we lived in New York or here in Dallas, where I live now. So about 3 weeks ago, I go downstairs, and I see the 2 guys wearing these blazers that look very familiar to me. And I looked at them, I'm like,
wait a minute.
So I called up my wife and said, honey, those blazers, who'd you give them to? Oh, the doorman. So, okay, so now...
You're like, the ties were fine. The blazers,
the
though.
blazers were a little much. So now, but at least they got, to people that could use them.
Yeah.
So anyway.
That's amazing. Well, before we let you go, Ari wouldn't hit the gym with me this morning. I asked. He passed. So we saw you downstairs. What was the morning workout?
So I work out every day. And I'm a Peloton guy, but when I travel, I don't usually use the Peloton. But Ali Love, who has been an instructor for many, many years, I don't know if you guys do Peloton, but she's fantastic. And I wake up to Ali every morning, and lo and behold, I hired Ali as the game host for the Brooklyn Nets when we moved to Brooklyn in the fall of 2012.
Wow.
And I've been riding with her ever since. I'm a rinse and repeat guy.
Yeah.
If I like
broke,
something,
don't fix.
that's it.
Yeah.
So I've been riding without. Now, when I go to a hotel, I typically, I'll lift a little bit, but I get on the elliptical.
Yep.
And I enjoy that as a workout. But I got out this morning, and I don't do it for weight or anything. I just like to clear my head a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
But there was a lot of people from, the basketball community in there this morning. I didn't see any of my colleagues from my office, though. But that's okay. I'll talk to them about it. But it was a good workout this morning.
There we go. Love it. That's the commish, Brett Yormark, Big 12 commissioner here on Big 12 Radio. Heard exclusively on TuneIn. Thank you so much for your time.
Love what you do, and thank you for preaching, the Big 12 and spreading our news and our gospel. It's a great time to be part of the Big 12, probably the best time ever. And
Yes.
we're just going to continue to grow this thing.
Totally agree.
Thank you.
This is the Big 12 Conference. This is a different league. You're watching us as well on Big 12 Studios. One final time here on Big 12 Today on Big 12 Radio, heard exclusively on TuneIn and watching us via Big 12 Studios, the Big 12 Conference Fast Channel, with former Baylor guard King McClure and Ari Timken. I'm James Westling. Ari, we need to find a title for you. Like former Baylor guard King McClure. Former
clown Ari Timken. Come watch the clown juggle for 3 hours.
It's been a lot of that today. A lot of clown work and juggling. There's been so many teams, so many schools, so many players. Of who we spoke to, who stood out to you guys?
Kelvin Sampson, for many reasons, but just his approach on having to replace guys year in, year out, I thought was an incredible answer.
Agreed.
And just him talking about his thoughts when they lost at the buzzer. I mean, that was something I was so curious about because, I mean, you get all the way there and to accept defeat when, you know, you're in a spot in which almost 350 teams wish they were.
Yeah.
So how do you accept defeat? And he sat up here and handled it with grace and class, and man, he's just somebody that I adore. I love talking to my man.
It's the only thing he hasn't done. You know, and being in the building that night, it was like, I'm not a Houston fan. I have no connection to Houston, but it was like you felt that because as much as you want those players who experience that, like for me, it was like I want to see Sampson do that. He's done everything else in his career. He's one of the great all-time coaches. The only thing he hasn't done is winning a national title.
100%.
Would it surprise you at all if they won it this year?
No, not at all.
No, I don't think I'd be surprised. I think it would be a tough road.
It is a long season, but if there's one team that can get back there and do it, it's them.
But I think the core of their team, and I'm curious for your thoughts, King, Milos and Emmanuel, like Emmanuel did not play well in that game. Milos did not play well in the Final Four overall. Yeah. So it's like they've got the right leaders on that team to get their revenge. And the other thing I'll say is Baylor and Kansas both were the best teams in college basketball in 2020 when the season ended. And they got their titles.
Yeah.
They got their titles. So it feels like this is Houston's year to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think the thing that he always stresses and reiterates is his culture. I mean, players leave, but his culture never leaves. And I think that's what puts them at an advantage from day one, is that they establish, what he said, 4 players have transferred in the last 11 years? I mean, when you do not have roster turnover and you can keep the same guys, you are already ahead of the curve because everybody else is trying to learn starting in June. So I think just that alone of him being able to retain guys and having that continuity within his roster already puts him so much ahead of the curve. And I really do think they have a really good chance to make it all the way. I mean, Purdue is phenomenal, though. And they got a culture, too, and a great point guard who picked them apart, who picked Houston apart last year. But outside of Purdue, I would throw Houston up there with anybody.
But, King, when he's talking about only 4 guys that have transferred out in 11 years, in this world of NIL, I mean, Kelvin Sampson, he said it, like guys got offered more money to play at other schools. You have to really love a coach and a staff in your situation to pass on that.
Well, and furthermore, I mean, how often do we hear coaches say, like, well, I can't really coach kids hard because they're going to leave. You know, we hear that old coaches complain about, like, oh, in this era, you got to be careful about what you say. It's like, oh, yeah? Go look at what Kelvin Sampson does.
Like, take us back to when you were playing and think about that scenario and how much you'd have to really love a program to stay at Houston.
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 programs that come to mind when I think about culture and I think about player retention, and that's Houston and Marquette. I think Shaka Smart does a tremendous job of keeping players, but I want to say when I talked to Shaka, he credited Kelvin for his mentality and his mindset on that. But to your point, in this day and age, when guys are being offered bigger bags or more money, and they can go to a myriad of programs, man, it's impressive to be able to keep these guys and to be able to compete. And you would think that guys are uncomfortable with the way that they play, with the style, the physicality, the way that they're just defense. But if you really watch it, on offense, Coach Sampson lets his dudes rock. Like the amount of quote-unquote bad shots that Houston takes, if you really watch a game, LJ Cryer took so many bad shots. Emmanuel Sharp takes a bunch of bad shots. But the thing about it is, if you're going to play hard and you're going to bust your tail the way that they bust their tail on the defensive side, you deserve to take whatever shots you want to take. You earn the right to take those shots.
Great point.
So when it comes to taking quote unquote bad shots, I mean, if you sit Kelvin Sampson here, he'll probably tell you those are not bad shots, and I can agree with that. But to 90% of coaches, the shots that those guys take, they're bad shots, which is why a lot of times their offense got stagnant last year because they rely so much on LJ Cryer bailing them out. They rely on Jaywan Roberts bailing them out, which is why I asked the question of
how do you replace those
who's your bailout option this year?
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be a committee, and it's going to take multiple guys. I don't think it'll be just one or two. But, I mean, you're right. I mean, he's a guy I'd want to play for. He's a guy I would want to play for sure.
What stood out to you? Anything, James, that stood out to you about all the men's coaches and players we talked to today?
Yeah, I would say BYU's always super impressive. I mean, Kevin Young is very new age, and you talk about two coaches that are pretty opposite in terms of their approach, but I don't think either is wrong. You know, I'm excited to see what BYU looks like. Like AJ DeBonsa, just his demeanor, his that aura, that energy around him, like he knows what it's going to take to be an outstanding teammate. And talking with those guys, I was really impressed by Rob Wright too. You know, this is
we got to get King's take on Rob Wright.
Like, that's a big story. I mean, he transfers out from Baylor, he transfers to BYU. Phenomenal freshman last year.
Accepted a deal for a specific amount of money at Baylor, and then turned around and got more money and a bigger deal for BYU.
What's your take on BYU?
What's your take on Rob Wright? He's a hooper.
Rob Wright is a talent, man. He's a talent. And here's my thought process on Rob Wright. I'm not going to get too much in detail, but I would have liked him to make that decision a little bit sooner. Because
that handcuffed what Baylor could then do.
Because you definitely handcuffed Baylor for sure. However, I get it. I understand. I mean, if I have a deal for X amount of money, but I could go get double that or triple that, I'm never going to blame you for going to get more money. Know your worth.
Right.
I mean, we've seen that in the landscape. I mean, for some guys, it didn't pan out, like Nico Lama or whatever. But it didn't always pan out when you try to know your worth, right? However, I mean, he's playing a lot better. But Rob Wright, know your worth. If you know you go get more money, I'm not hating on you. Go get your bag for sure. However, you did handcuff Baylor a little bit, and that's my alma mater. So, I'm always going to have Baylor's back. But as far as talent-wise, Rob Wright is one of the best point guards in this conference.
All right, from what we've learned here at Big 12 Basketball Media Days at the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City, who's the sleeper team? Let's talk under the radar teams that you like. I'll kick us off with a team that shouldn't be probably as under the radar as they are, and that's Iowa State. I think with Keyshawn Gilbert no longer there, with Curtis Jones gone, but they still have Lipsy back. They've got Joshua Jefferson back. Momcilovic is healthy, and just something about those Iowa State teams, they're always so tough, the way they defend, and they're so well coached. I would throw Iowa State as maybe a team that's not getting enough love.
How about your alma mater? It's a big year for Jerome Tang.
Ooh, that's my sleeper team right there.
Okay.
That's definitely my sleeper team. And the reason why is because I have the same question for Iowa State that I have for Houston. Where are your points going to come from?
Yeah.
Like as good as Taman Lipsy is,
he's
a pest. He's a dog. He's so many good things. But one thing he is not a scorer. He's not a guy that's going to get you 20. Where are your points going to come from? Jefferson, he's a great player, but where are your points going to come from? And I think last year, Keyshawn Gilbert made a lot of plays for them. Once again, he was your bailout option in a lot of situations.
Totally.
Momcilovic is extreme talent, but he needs a guard to be able to create, to be able to get him the ball and put him in positions to succeed. Where are your points going to come from? Jerome Tang doesn't have to answer that, or have to ask that question for his squad. He knows where his points are coming from. PJ Haggerty averaged 21 last year.
And could have averaged more.
Yes, and Abdi from Monmouth, he averaged 20.
Yeah.
You got two guys, and Nate Johnson, it averaged, I want to say, about 15.
Yep.
You have three guys that average roughly 40.
Don't forget about the round mound of rebound from Bowling Green.
Yes.
Johnson, 17 at Bowling Green.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you got dudes who legitimately get buckets. And you know Jerome Tang, if you can score, he is going to let you rock. Now, my question for them is who's going to be able to share the ball? Like,
Only one ball.
I don't see too many guys really being able to spread the rock and spread the wealth. However, if they can figure that part out, you never have to worry about points with Kansas State. That's my sleeper team because they're going to be hard to guard.
All right.
I mean, I tend to agree with King here. I also think like Baylor, we haven't spoken much about Baylor at all. It's a brand new team, but like one thing we know is their coach, Scott Drew, really good coach.
Right.
Brings in talent. Like it's a talented roster. It just feels like for a team that's pretty consistently considered at the top of the conference, like there's just not a lot of talk around Scott Drew or Baylor.
And I think a part of that is due to, so my biggest concern with them is they don't have a point guard. They have a lot of wings.
Going back to your thing about if they had found out early.
If they found out early, they could have gotten one. But 2 through 5, when you look at Obi was an elite scorer at Wyoming. Cam Carr will probably be a draft pick either this year or next year. Tunde Yesufu is a first-round draft pick. You got Michael Ratai. You got Dan Skillins, a guy who has been at this level, who's been at a high level for the past few years. You have a bunch of talent. You just don't have a guy who can be able to spread the wealth and get the most out of that talent at the point guard position. So that's my biggest question for Baylor. I think 2 through 5, they're as good as anybody in the country. They don't have a point guard, and I'm a big believer in you got to have a point guard that can get to the paint and create.
What about Texas Tech? We haven't talked about the Red Raiders. Well, I guess, yeah, we're past the sleeper talk. My bad.
Cincinnati can get thrown into that sleeper category too.
Oklahoma State, but Texas Tech, in terms of contenders, like teams that could compete for a national championship.
This is a big year for Wes Miller too. I think Jerome Tang and Wes Miller too that probably have to make the tournament to keep their jobs.
Oh, 100%. But I do think that you can tell based off some of the guys in which Wes Miller went after, shooting was a huge priority for them. Because the past few years, they just couldn't shoot.
Yeah.
I mean, they were in games, but they just couldn't knock it down from deep. So getting Kirk Kriisa, getting Celestine, getting Chom. Chom is a guy who was so slept on. He was so good as a freshman last year.
Yeah.
He got no love because UCF was not great.
Yeah.
But he is a guy. He is arguably the best big man in the Big 12. He can block shots. He can step out and shoot the three. He can switch 1 through 5. He does everything. He's an NBA player. He will be in the NBA.
Wow.
If he keeps developing, he will be in the NBA, and he should have got a lot more love. There were NBA scouts there last year when they played Kansas, and they were there to see Badunga, and they were there to see Chom. Chom is that level of good, man, and he gets no love. He's that good.
Yeah, I think you're right.
That's huge. I mean, they've got a top 20 recruiting class coming in with Day Thomas returning and some other core pieces. I like that pick. Is the Big 12 collectively, I remember going into last year, even with the additions, I didn't know that the league could match what it had done the year before. And Houston makes a run, gets to the national championship game. How does the league compare in your eyes this year collectively to last year?
I think last year we had, I think there was separation last year. The top teams separated themselves. I don't think there is a separation this year. And everybody says it's Houston, then Iowa State or Texas Tech, BYU, and then you'd have Baylor, Kansas State. No. I think that gap is not as wide as everybody is saying it is. I think it's very, very close. Now, I think there's about 6 teams all at the same level that will just beat each other down the whole year. And I think that I think it's going to come down to 1 to 2 games, maybe even 0.5 to 1 games, to 1 game, in order to win the Big 12 championship, because I don't think there's that much separation this year.
Can you watch any college football?
Yeah, man. Look, you weren't here earlier, but I was telling them about me.
Yeah, we were chopping it up.
Me and my college football accomplishment. I play a lot of college football, 25 and I'm 26.
All right.
I'm pretty good.
All right, so you want to guess which team he plays with?
It's an SEC.
Yeah.
SEC team.
And it's not a heavyweight.
It's not a heavyweight. SEC.
You can't do heavyweights if you want to be legit.
Who has a fun playbook? Mississippi State?
That's one of Ari's guesses. No. But you got to think about quarterback too. Superhuman quarterback.
Superhuman quarterback in the SEC. Florida?
No, close. You're on the right direction.
You're not thinking about the right team because you forgot about this guy because of the preseason hype.
And he has not played well in real life, but for me, he's phenomenal.
Preseason hype.
Think of Southern Cal.
South Carolina.
There you go.
Lenora Sellers.
You got it.
Lenora Sellers is a superhuman on college football.
Dynasty mode or online?
Online.
You're going online
I'm
now.
playing against Randos.
He's playing Randos.
Okay.
He's in the top 45,000.
Top 45,000.
I was like, oh, okay, sure, yeah. And James is like, whoa.
You got to play both sides of the ball, man. When you're playing against the computer, you can just play offense only, which is way more fun. And you can get a game in like 10 minutes.
So
that's the best part.
My strategy was I was going to outscore you and not play any defense. However, once I started like learning how to play some defense, oh my goodness, that's the fun part now. Making you throw an interception to me because I might start.
Because you're outsmarting you, yeah.
I actually might start streaming because I'm one of those dudes. I'm yelling if I get a pick. Like, give me that, take that home, man. Give me that, or a fumble. Don't let me get a fumble and go return it, or pick six. I'm screaming, I'm up and down.
Top 45,000.
And I started off like 160,000.
Now, when you sign in to play against somebody, how do I sign in and make sure I'm not playing somebody in the top 45,000?
So they actually do it by tiers. So it's like 15 games or 12 game seasons, and then you got to go to the college football playoffs and you win a championship. And then after that season, you win 4 games. You level up.
So I can load up like a cupcake schedule to kind of build my.
Yeah. But
I'm with you.
But you're gonna run across somebody that's like I've run across a few dudes. That I was like, oh snap! Like, shoot, dude got me. Oh my gosh!
Like, do you know right away too? Is it's like, boom, boom, score. Well, this is gonna be a problem.
This is gonna be a long day.
I can tell real quick about your decision making. When I'm on defense, I can tell. Like, if you put the ball in a few spots where I'm like, I didn't get that,
but I would next time.
I'm gonna get that eventually. You're gonna give me one. I can tell real quickly. Yeah.
Okay, man, that's awesome. Good stuff. Appreciate you joining us all day
man.
long.
I'm glad to be here. It was a great day, long day, but great day.
It's a long 2 days.
Well, I was only here for one,
but it's a
long 2 days for you guys.
It is, but man, we did it. King McClure, former Baylor guard, ESPN, NBC, CBS, all the networks.
Tune in.
Analyst covering college basketball and a great ambassador for the sport. For Ari Timken, I'm James Westling. For our producer, Taman Turner. For everybody else behind the scenes helping us get off and rolling the last couple of days. On the women's side yesterday, the men's side today. That's going to be a wrap from the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City. This has been Big 12 Today on Big 12 Radio, exclusively on TuneIn and Big 12 Studios.